What's going on, guys, and welcome to the second episode of the Nintendo Nite podcast. There's a whole bunch of stuff here to discuss with you guys since our first podcast episode, which was about a month ago. There's so much stuff that went down: Nintendo's E3, a Pokemon press conference, a lot of cool things here to discuss. But of course, I couldn't discuss any of this with our amazing panel of people, so let me introduce them to you guys. First up, we've got Mr. Endgame the Cube.
What's up, everyone?
We've got Ruffled Rowlet.
Hentai is the purest form of entertainment.
We've got Slow Speed Run.
Hey guys, I'm not sure what Ruffle just said. What was that?
And we've got the Pokérap.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast.
Alright guys, so there's been so much stuff that's gone down since our last episode, and I kind of feel bad because our last episode we literally did that, and then like 4 days later they announced Pokemon Switch. But yeah, anyway, like when our last episode happened, we were talking about Pokemon Switch. We were all giving our predictions on what we think was going to be revealed, and they did have a Pokemon press conference. It was kind of weird how they did this. It was just like a random press conference that they decided to pull out of nowhere. It wasn't like a traditional direct or anything like that. It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
they literally announced an event like the same day. A few hours later, we got the event, or not even a few hours later. It was like an hour later, and then they showed the trailer and it dropped.
It was weird actually, because I remember somebody was like saying that's like the day before it happened. Somebody was like, rumoring, oh, some shit's gonna go down tomorrow, and I was like, just thinking, it's just people, rumoring again, because people just keep saying bullshit. But then a guy on, what's it called, Resetera, or whatever. Yeah. He actually said exactly what was gonna happen, and he specifically pointed out as well. He said, like, don't be excited for 2018, be more excited for 2019. That's when shit's gonna get like interesting for Pokemon. And I mean, hey, I mean, you know what I mean? It's very nice.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yep, so they had that Pokemon press conference, and they pretty much had 3 big announcements, so I thought we'd just go through each one, and then we can all give our thoughts on it. So the first one, of course, that they talked about was Pokemon Quest, which is like a game that's on your Nintendo Switch, and it also came out on the smartphone like a few days ago. So what do you guys all think about that?
I think it looks pretty cool. It seems like a good game that younger audiences would probably prefer, just like to play in their spare time. It seems like the gameplay is enjoyable, but I think everyone else is more hyped about the other game that we'll talk about later on.
Did any of you guys already play it yet?
I've been playing it. I played it a little bit on the Switch. As soon as I turned it on and started playing it, I immediately got the feeling that this doesn't belong on the Switch. This was made for mobile, and they threw it on the Switch to make a little extra money off of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now I've played so much of it that now that I actually have it on my phone, but I haven't touched it because I don't want to start all the way back over, and I can't transfer my progress from Switch to, because I want to play it on my phone.
Oh, you can't transfer your data?
You can't.
That's terrible.
Is there cross compatibility between mobile and Switch?
Well, if you can, I can't figure it out. So.
No, there is no possibility for that, because I actually looked into it as well. Because same as you, I was like, I don't want to start over again because I've spent money and time on the Switch on Pokemon Quest, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this again. Can I like connect them to and like transfer shit? But nah, it doesn't work. It actually don't allow you to do that, which is really disappointing. But I guess it makes sense because they're like, hey, just gotta milk that cash, my dude. But it is what it is.
I don't really want to play it. I'm probably gonna delete it from my phone because I don't feel the urge to play it because I've already played it on the Switch. I don't want to start over.
I would say like keep it on the Switch for sure though, because they're probably gonna drop like new Pokemon soon for it, because they already data mined the game, and like they actually have 808 808
Oh,
Pokemon.
808. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the thing is, the brand new Pokemon that's like totally brand new, that's gonna be in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, it's gonna be in this game as well, and that's like how it ended up being confirmed, because somebody they data mined it instantly, which was easy for them because the game is, what is it, like a Unity game? So it was easy to get all the information out of it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the Switch in general is just pretty easy to hack.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Yeah, someone told me about it, and they showed me like a video. You basically just need like a paperclip, and you put it at the end, and then you can like hack in and get into the internals of the Switch.
You just ask it nicely, gives up all of its data.
Yeah.
Somebody actually got banned today. I think Mizumi got banned. Who does data mining? Yeah, his Switch got fully banned. But it's also because he was really not being super safe with it, though, because he was essentially switching his profile picture on the Switch to like whatever he wanted, custom image, and that stayed on his account when he was online as well.
that'll do
So
it.
Nintendo could see that, and it's like an obvious thing where like you're essentially telling them, "Hey, come catch me."
I'm messing around. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much all that we can, I guess, say about Pokemon Quest. There's not really much else to talk about, but really the big thing that I guess a lot of you want to talk about is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So how do you guys feel about that?
First impressions, they looked really amazing. I think it was just all the hype that I had to stay up at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning just to watch a trailer. But apart from that, I thought, yeah, I know. I thought they looked okay. They seem alright for now. Obviously, we'll get into more about that later on. But first impressions, they look pretty well done, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they were prettier than I originally expected them to look. I was expecting something a bit uglier, I guess you could say, but they did a pretty good job with the visuals. Like, it's clean, it has good lighting, which I was hoping like some kind of Wind Waker style lighting would be in the game. That's kind of what we're getting, or Wind Waker HD style lighting, I should say. It looks nice. Like, I really like it. From my like first impressions, it got me excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really getting tripped up over the lag. I mean, the game looks great. Like, you know, you guys, I think the game visually is looks good, but the lack of wild battles is still tripping me up. Like, I'm trying to tell myself it's okay, but at the same time, every time I watch a trailer or talk to someone about that, I'm reminded that there's no wild battles, and it just makes me stutter, you know.
I feel like it's such an unnecessary thing to remove because, and I don't want to go into full-on rant mode because I have so many. I've already ranted on with like in private here, but I have so many issues with this game. The thing is, I want to love it. I really want to love it because it's so much easier to love something than to hate. Like, you know, it's much more fun to love something rather than hate it. But with this game, I have so many issues because the lack of wild battles is just a fundamental Pokemon thing. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, is as fundamental as like using a Pokeball to catch Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, even like if you look back at the anime and you watch like the first episodes of the anime, you know what I mean? You have Ash specifically being told by the Pokedex, hey, you can't just throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon to catch it. You actually gotta, you know, battle it. That's, you know, it's a core concept of Pokemon. Hence why I and most people who are, you know, kind of hardcore into Pokemon, including some, I guess, some of you guys, you know, didn't like Pokemon Go to begin with, because the issue with Pokemon Go was, you know, it was the lack of actual battles and lack of things to do. You know what I mean? It was just, hey, here's a Pokemon, press it, throw a Pokeball, done. You know what I mean? It's just, there was not much fun in that.
I had fun with like the core aspect of Pokemon Go with like catching and swinging the ball and all that, but I did want more meat, and I feel like that's what Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee will do, because you'll have a whole region to explore. You'll have battles, gym leaders, the champion, Elite Four, and with like legendary battles, I guess they'll operate more like normal battles, which is cool. So at least with like Mewtwo and like the grand events and like Zapdos and Articuno and all that, like you'll have more fun. It'll be more like the traditional thing that we're used to.
I think some people are really kind of annoyed with the fact that obviously even when you're in the overworld now, all the Pokemon are out, so you can see what specific Pokemon were, and compared to playing it back in like the previous games when you actually had to walk into the grass and you wouldn't expect what the encounter would be, like it's going to be a bit odd, obviously everyone just seeing like Pidgeys and like, you know, like Rattatas everywhere. And
I love that, to be honest. That's one of my favorite features of this game.
I think it's a good idea.
What I don't
like how it makes the world feel more alive.
Yeah,
it really does. What I don't like is that they put the red and blue ores to tell you if it's bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
Leave some. I mean, there's some mystery that could have been left in there. You know, like you got to grind for the large Pidgey that you want or whatever. You know, but I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like this is a little too hand-holdy in a way.
I feel like, and I guess now it's been debunked, I guess, or they've already explained that like it's only going to be for the first gym, because you just mentioned hand-holding. And there was like that whole first gym thing where like, oh, you can't, you know, challenge this gym unless you have this and this typing, which is, you know, typing is, you know, they have a type of, you know, you need these Pokemon because they have type advantages. Go get these or else you can't take on the gym. When I first saw that, I was like, this is bad. Like, this is really bad. But then I, you know, I read more into it. People explain, because the thing is, when I was looking at it you know, at first, during the live stream and stuff, I didn't see the extra, like, you know, sentence which said like, you know, this is, you know, a one-time thing, you know what I mean? I didn't see that at first. I was like, okay, I was like freaking out, but then I saw that, I was like, okay, this makes sense. But then then comes up the question is like, I feel like these games are going to be way too easy. And it's like, it was already being too easy with like the previous Pokemon games. That was the biggest complaint from most people, is like, the Pokemon games got way too easy. And I feel like this is like so casual that I can't even like describe how casual it is. It's ridiculously casual in my eyes. And also somebody mentioned Shinies in the chat. I don't even know how the fuck Shinies going to work. I'm going to be honest. I have no clue. Like, how's that even going to work out?
I think the most broken mechanic potentially in that game is probably going to be local co-op, because depending on what areas you can like activate that specific
run up to the Elite Four with 2 people.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Like double battles, we actually for the first time in favor have 2 characters on our side taking on 1 trainer. Like from the gameplay of Pikachu and Bulbasaur taking on that NPC on Nugget Bridge, it's just going to be super easy, like Ruffled said. And at the same time, like it depends. I mean, if we have to go to the Elite Four with 2 trainers, what's the point in playing the games on our own?
Yeah, that's basically what I was going to talk about next, like our concerns with the game. And I was like looking at the E3 demo when they were like having the gameplay on it, and I was looking at that and I was seeing how they were playing with 2 people, and I was like, why are they doing this? Like the game isn't even that hard. And it was like 2 people against like a bug catcher with a Metapod. I'm like, you really need 2 people to beat that? Like,
all right, okay, we understand that it's for like the younger audience, like if they want to play with their siblings and trying to make it a bit more family orientated. But at the same time, like Game Freak said, for those that are like the hardcore fans like ourselves, we're probably just gonna play it, finish it, and then just leave it in the drawer until the next game.
Goal, Portugal. Sorry, watching football.
Yeah, I don't understand why they felt the need to make it even easier, because like the recent games have already been pretty easy, especially like X and Y. Like, I mean, they've already tried making it easier, and then they're making it even worse instead. I don't know, but I feel like they could, at the very least, just give us a very simple option that would solve all the problems. Have an easy mode for the people that are like less experienced, and then have a hard mode for the fans that are more experienced. And I know that's like a generic thing that everyone asks for, but it would solve everything. So like the casual audience can get what they want, and the hardcore can get what they want. We don't have to like.
There is something about that. There is something about that, because we know one thing for a fact, right? That is that these games are not done yet. Even they're actually still in development. They've been in development for 2 years. But here's also another thing: is they're in development still, and on top of that, they like Nintendo sent out a survey regarding Pokemon games. Some of you guys most likely know about this. They sent out a survey specifically about the Pokemon games, asking people, what are the things about Pokemon, the features about Pokemon that you love the most? We want to know. Like, what is it about Pokemon that you love the most? And they just had like a list of like, just a survey with like a bunch of check marks. Like, hey, do you like, what's important for you in Pokemon? Is it the battles? Is it the trading? Is it, the capturing of Pokemon? Is it the adventure? Is it the story? What's your most important thing about Pokemon for you? And you can like check mark, either a few of them or everything, all that stuff, right? Even I think shiny hunting may have been included. I can't remember. I don't exactly remember every option, but that was there. So what I'm thinking is, are they doubting themselves about these games? Like, are they a bit doubtful about how to, or like, do they maybe feel like, okay, maybe we should add something more into this, or maybe should change something?
I think they probably just want to hear from fans and maybe get a little more feedback for Gen 8. That game, because they're saying this next game is going to be for the fans, so they're probably like seeing how they feel, testing the waters, and then they'll probably use some of that feedback for the actual games. They actually did that with Animal Crossing. They did a whole like thing where they said like, oh, these are what the fans asked for, and we actually use some of these ideas.
That's good marketing for them as well, especially for market research, because then like external companies will be able to see that they're listening to what the fans want to like provide a game for all the fans that they love. So that's really good. That's a really good idea for them.
Yeah, for sure.
This might seem pretty random. Do you guys remember Club Nintendo?
Yeah.
Remember how whenever how like you put in like one of those codes, it would ask you to do a survey about the game?
Yeah.
I think it might be something like that. I don't know if they ever even used those surveys, but kind of just reminded me of that.
I hope they didn't use the surveys, because when I was into Club Nintendo, I actually worked at a used game store. So I would go through all of the used like DS, all the games that had the codes, and just sit there and just put them in on my shift. And I would answer. I never even played the games. I just total bullshit answer.
You're probably able to get so many of the platinum rewards.
Yeah, I really hope they never use those surveys for like constructional things.
I think they just kind of look like majority on those. You know what I mean? So like if you just like randomly press shit, they're not gonna it's not gonna make a huge impact if like 10,000 people answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh well, but I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about the future of Pokemon. Like, I'm not worried about Gen 8.
I think we've all said it before.
That happened. Wait, what?
I'm saying that I think we've all of us in this podcast, I think have said it before, but the Let's Go games are basically stepping stone games. They're gateway games to get the Go players to buy a Switch, so they can be like, hey, if you like this Let's Go game, this core RPG, then we have this other RPG coming out that you might also like, and you already have a Switch, might as well get it. You know, just
preparing.
I think it's pure genius.
I mean, yeah, it's totally genius. But I mean, for Pokemon players like us, we're more critical of this, and I've been trying my best to grin and bear it with the Let's Go, but as time goes on, I can't look over a lot of
less and less excited, right?
Exactly.
You still see more and more flaws in it.
I'm still really excited to be able to sit down and enjoy this game, with my wife co-op. I think that's cool because before this, it was just me and my wife playing Pokemon in the same room, you know, on our own consoles, you know.
Yeah, now you can play
now
together,
it's actually it's more. I feel like that's going to be fun, but it's going to be over quick, like you said, because two players against one NPC is going to be OP.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculously easy.
Have they confirmed that to be? I don't think it's going to be every area.
I think they're going to limit that so you can't do it against like the Elite Four, but you can't. You definitely would probably be able to do it against the gym leaders though, which worries me because
even that doesn't make sense.
I don't really care. Like as long as you're not forced to do it.
Yeah, I'm just not going to use that.
Yeah, but it's like
just create the challenge for yourself, whatever.
Yeah, but like at the same time though, that's the issue. Is like I shouldn't have to make it harder for myself. It should kind of be there per automatic. You know what I mean? Like, and I just get more and more worried about these games because like I play a Pokemon fan game right now, or a MMO, Pokemon MMO, called Poke1, and it's essentially like it's got two regions, Johto and Kanto. The Kanto region is just a full remake in 3D, by the way, not like a 2D game, but like a full 3D world environment, remake of Kanto. And I played through that, and I was like, damn, this is fun, because guess what? That game has co-op, 3-man co-op. And the thing is, you use your own teams, you can together take on the gym leaders and stuff. It's pretty awesome, and like, I mean, it is also broken, because if you have somebody that's like, you know, a friend, and he has like level 100 Pokemon, he can essentially help you sweep through the whole game. But like, you know, you wouldn't do that. But in general, when I play through, I was like, damn, I get less and less excited for Pokemon, because this game, which is a fan game, by the way, you know, a fan project, it kind of offers me more, because I have this, you know, the Kanto story, I have the Kanto Pokemon, plus once I'm done with this, I can go play Johto in this game. You know what I mean? And I have co-op, I have PvP, I have all these things that you know, that this other game's gonna offer me, but for free. And I also have more to experience in these games, and more things to do, and other players to interact with. So I don't know why, but like I just get less and less excited about these games every time I kind of look at them, and it worries me, because I still feel like I'm gonna enjoy them. I still feel like I'm gonna play them, you know, have a good time with them. But like, they seem to just lack, in a sense. Like I feel like they just lack in one area or another. You know what I mean? I don't know. It may just be me, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried. There is one other thing though, and that is the worry of the Pokemon Go community jumping in to kind of our community at the current time, because that stuff is. Sorry about that. I had to mute for a second. I'm worried about the Pokemon Go community, because I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter, but you guys know Cerebi or Joe Merritt, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So he got a lot of like really bad like criticism, or not criticism, like he just got attacked, full on hated. You know what I mean? By the Pokemon Go community, who were calling him a clickbait liar because he had, you know, Generation 4 listed on his page. You know, and he had info about Generation 4 and stuff. And they were saying he's fake because Darkrai is fake and it doesn't exist and it's not a real Pokemon. Because they don't think Darkrai is a real Pokemon. And they think it's something from DeviantArt. Because these people don't know about the future. And the thing is, yes, this could be an outlier, a smaller group, whatever. But they're essentially attacking. Sorry, by the way, anybody in chat for me talking too much. I'm going to be quiet in like a minute. But like, you know what I mean? They were essentially saying, like, you're fake news. Only this Pokemon Go website, like Go Hub or something, is real news. You're fake. And that shit is, like, it worries me, because I'm like, dude, we don't need people that think that Darkrai is fake, you know, jumping in here and attacking people who are literally credible and, you know, bring proper, like, actual, you know, information, credible news, and that sort of stuff. That's what Cerebi does. That's what, you know, he does on that website. That's the whole point of it. It's like the biggest kind of place for Pokemon information if you need it, and info and news you go to, where you want like shit that's like generally 100% credible. I mean, yeah, he's made mistakes in the past as well. Who hasn't made mistakes? But like, you know, that's where you usually go for that sort of stuff. So having these guys who don't even know Generation 4 is a thing, or that Darkrai is a thing, coming in and just kind of like, you know, poking at the rest of us essentially and trying just to kind of, I don't know, it just worries me because that community, to me, I'm not too used to it. And I think most people that are like, you know, into the Pokemon games that aren't into just Pokemon Go, you know, we're going to have a lot of issues with those people once they kind of integrate themselves into, you know, our little hub.
Well, that's the thing. They're integrating into our hub, not the other way around. And like you said, the main series sort of players are a much larger community, and I feel like a stronger community in a way. We've been around longer, so I feel like they'll be integrating into us and be able to
eventually assimilate.
Right. They will cave and meld into our society and into the way we do. I mean, Pokemon Go and console games are very, very different. And if they want to continue to play the console games, you can't. I mean, there's set rules in the game, so you have to follow along with that, and thus you will fall along into the community that also, you know, adheres to those rules.
That's true, but yeah. I do get a question.
Get worse than like Relicify or something. So. Yeah.
But I get a question though: is how many? Because the thing is, we're all assuming that the Pokemon Go community is going to buy these games, but how can we be certain about that even?
I think a good chunk, not everyone, but I think a good chunk will go towards it.
Yeah, they enjoy the mechanics so much, so.
Yeah, if they can even get like 10% of the audience, that's 80 million people.
They'll probably excel at the game, really. So,
well, they're not going to sell 80 million, that's for sure. There's no way. Dude, there's no way. Because the thing is, a lot of people play Pokemon Go for the fact that it is free. You know what I mean? That's why it was so big. Because, like, imagine if, like, you had put a price on Pokemon Go, it would have been nowhere near as popular as it is. You know what I mean? Or making as much money as it is, because it's got the whole microtransaction shit. And that's why it's also so popular, because, you know, it blew up and it was just this big thing for a long time. It was all over media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The Let's Go games, they won't have that same impact. And I don't feel like a lot of those people will actually transition over. Some will, definitely. Like you said, like 10%. But like if we say 10% of the current playing audience, that's like a million. You know what I mean? Because there's like 11 million active. Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. But then again, like, you know what I mean? We're not talking Pokemon Go community. We sell about 9 million copies of Pokemon games, you know what I mean, on our own. So they would just add in 1 million on that. Which, hey, the more the better, honestly. Like, the more people play Pokemon, the more people know about Pokemon, the better it is for the Pokemon community, for the Pokemon brand, and for all of us, because, you know, we love talking about this shit. It's like, you know, what a lot of us base our channels on. So I think that's good, but I'm just worried that this kind of mixing of these two communities is going to lead to a lot of like really weird shit is what I'm worried about. Because I got to witness it on Twitter, how these people react to kind of like shit that's like not even new, shit that's old, but to them it's kind of new because they've never seen it in Pokemon Go, because they only play Pokemon Go. And then like I'm just wondering how they're going to react when they realize there's like, what, like 15, 20 Pokemon games, you know, prior to Pokemon Go. How they're going to react to that, how they're going to be like, I don't know, it's just an irrational worry. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't worry this much. I just don't want things to go downhill. That's all.
You just want a good game. You just want a good
Exactly.
Game.
I just want a good experience, a good game, something we could all enjoy, for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
And I think the thing is, honestly, like, if we're thinking about it from Game Freak's perspective, they don't really care how people react. They just want to make sure that they can get the most of their games sold so that they can make the most money.
For sure.
Yep.
But yeah, anybody have any more like concerns they want to discuss about Let's Go, or should we move on to the next
I'm personally not really that concerned for these games. I'm specifically wondering what's going to happen with the next game. Like, the next game is really the big question mark, because this one, in my opinion, can be excused if it has certain problems. Like, if it doesn't have like a huge post game, for example, like, it's geared at the casual audience, so obviously, you know, it's gonna probably not have the craziest post game in the world. But like, if the next game is lacking in content, like post game content, then that's when I'm gonna start being probably a little more critical, because I feel like like after Black and White 2, there's been a problem with the Pokemon games having like less content, especially in the post game. With X and Y, it was very bad. We got Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. We expected probably a little bit more from those games in the post game, since Heart Gold, Soul Silver were amazing and had like tons of post game content. And it's so I guess when we move forward to the Pokemon 2019 discussion, we'll talk more about.
Well, you pretty much did the transition for me, so we can just start talking about it.
Let's do it, I guess. Yeah. I feel like, first of all, the third version thing is not gonna fly very well on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
with
sure.
games being $60 now.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means essentially is
DLC.
Once we get like a new generation, that's it. Like we're gonna have to if there's gonna have to be some extra, it's gonna have to be the third version that you know what I mean that we normally get and the new generation combined. It's gonna have to have a lot of content with us being on the home console now, getting more money. Like this is it for them.
I think they might still do it. I think they have enough balls to pull that off, honestly.
They could probably do it and people will still buy it, but I'm just saying it's not going to look good for most people now.
Oh, but they don't care, clearly. Well, I mean, in all honesty, like, they've done it for such a long time now. I didn't think they would care much because, I mean, and honestly, I like the extra versions. Like, I've always liked them because it's kind of that extra thing you can play while you wait for the next big thing or the next, actual new generation or actual new game or whatever. It's always fun just to have this intermediary game. For example, what would we have done last year if we didn't get Ultra Sun and Moon? You know what I mean? We would just be sitting like little ducks just flopping our freaking feet, being like, hey, hey, dudes, what we do now? Like, we would have had nothing to do. So I kind of like those games, even though they are essentially just cash grabs, in all honesty, let's be fair.
Yeah, with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, like, doing so well, and it being, like, that was one of their laziest, like, third versions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was even less than Black and White, too.
That cash that they made, like, I found out it already outsold like Emerald, so I lost faith after that. But like if it did that well as like a third version and it was so lazily done, like they might try to pull something.
Well, see, the thing that I say about the thing that I say about Ultra Sun and Moon is that game particularly, I think they did really good with the marketing and the trailers for it, because like I think we can all agree when we saw the trailers and when we were like covering it in videos and stuff last year, all the trailers looked really good for that game. Like it looked like it was gonna be insane. There was gonna be so much stuff. When they showed off like Ultra Megalopolis and all that, it looked crazy. But then once we actually played the game, we were like, oh, that was just 5 minutes of gameplay.
It's just repetition, basically, apart from just like certain sections. Yeah.
But that's all. I think the biggest issue with Ultra Sun and Moon was we all expected them to be sequels and not like
Revamps,
what would revamps exactly, or like remasters, quote unquote. I guess that's what the best word you can call them really is. It's just remasters. We all expected them to be sequels because we had Pokemon Black and White, and then we had Black and White 2, right? That was the only time.
New standard that they set
exactly
with Black and White 2, and then they went backwards again in this era.
And the problem is, like, I guess if they had just done one game and called it like Pokemon like Eclipse or some shit, you know what I mean, or Pokemon Stars, like all thought it was going to be called. If they'd done that, it would have been more okay.
Two versions, and that's shameless.
And then when they interviewed them about it, they said they wanted, because of how Ultra Sun and Moon were the last Pokemon games on the 3DS, they said they didn't want to just end that system with one game. They wanted to have 2 games for some reason. So that's why.
Well, that could just be seen as a really like poor excuse in my honest opinion. But I can let that pass. But
that extra money because they can do it.
There is one thing I want to bring up about Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which we didn't talk about earlier, which I wanted to mention real quick, and that is the bloody Pokeball thing, because I'm not a big fan of it.
Oh, the accessory?
Yeah, and
thankfully, I got the hookup. Like, I went on Best Buy, I used like a bunch of discounts, and I was able to get it for $15. So,
hey, that's pretty good.
Oh, you got it for how much it should be worth?
Yeah. So I'm good.
But I mean, it makes sense though. Like they did say there's a whole bunch of HD Rumble and like Bluetooth and stuff in there, so I can see where the price goes high because of all the tech.
Yeah, it's basically a Joy-Con.
But still, yeah.
But my question is it a Joy-Con just for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, or will it be useful in other situations? Because if it's just for one game,
use it on the new Smash Brothers.
No,
I don't see why.
That would be lit.
Right? I mean, didn't it have all the buttons of a regular Joy-Con, or is it just?
I think it does.
No, it's just one joystick and then one button at the top.
Yeah.
I think they said that there was one on the bottom too. And that E3, if you clicked it, they'd like run over to you and tell you to stop touching it.
Because all you need is a Joy-Con or a joystick and then an A and B buttons.
Yeah.
I thought it was a full.
But yeah,
Joy-Con.
like when I was reading about it, they said like it works in other games, but they purposely programmed it so that it gets like locked up if you try to use it on other games. So you can only use it on Let's Go.
That's just shitty then.
really
Because I think
weird.
that's dumb, because I think it would have had an entire new fan base, or like people that would have bought it if it was used on other games, because you would try to see
Yeah.
people doing like Dark Souls playthroughs or something with it. I think it would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that would
Oh my god.
that would have been amazing.
Yeah. There would have been
Or
a
if you,
whole
like,
entire
lost
audience there.
Joy-Con and you wanted something cooler and you only lost one. I don't know.
I'm a bit curious though. Would you guys have preferred, like, is this what I was hoping for instead? Was like an exclusive Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, like Switch. You know what I mean? Like a full-on Switch.
I would,
you know?
yeah, that would have been awesome.
I mean, they could
That
still
would-
show that down the
Cool,
line.
but I'm happy with the Joy-Con. Honestly, I don't know.
They could still
mean-
have something like that down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Or they could do a
Like
Gen
around the
8.
holiday time, they could have like a
Yeah.
special bundle or something.
Yeah, they would make so much money if they
Yeah.
did that. Like,
Because you
I
already
don't
know
why they
a ton
wouldn't.
of people are going to buy a Switch just for this game, even though
Yeah,
I think you should wait for the next year game, but still.
Nah, well,
So, yeah,
eh.
they could definitely have like a Switch that comes with Let's Go, and then, you know, it's like, maybe it's like a special Pikachu Switch or something like that.
yeah. For
I
sure.
wouldn't be surprised if they do that, and they're going to do an Eevee one as well. They just
Yeah.
want extra money.
Yeah. Didn't they do like a Splatoon one or of some sort?
Mhm.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, so
That
if they
one-
do that for that, then they got to do it for Pokemon.
But I
Oh,
mean,
it did so well though that thing, like that whole bundle, because like you know, like because that's the thing. What I love about PlayStation is they always kind of like do these really cool bundles where you can
Yeah.
like, because like I got 4 games included with my PlayStation 4, and also it was cheaper than a Switch on its own. You know what I mean? Like,
it's older,
but this was
too.
like,
It is.
yeah,
older.
but like this was when I bought, like, you know, this was not this year or last year. This was like 3 years ago or some shit, dude. Like I got it way cheaper and so many games included with it, and it was like brand new from the store. You know what I mean? I got a lot for my, you know, money, and I played through all the games. It was amazing. But then with this, you know, when I like bought the Switch, I was like, I had to go and spend like what, like, holy shit, a lot of fucking money buying just like 4 games just to add something to play. So I don't know. It's just, I would appreciate if they did like a bundle for the Let's Go games. Like, you know, just have a brand new Switch with like some cool like Pokemon Joy-Cons, and then, you know, the game included. It would be pretty nice. I would appreciate that as someone, you know, maybe buying a brand new Switch. I would appreciate that. But hey, they can do whatever they want.
so yeah, I guess we can just talk about the 2019 game a little bit. Just give our thoughts, hopes for it, I guess, if you guys want to.
Meme review. Because that's what I feel about this game right now. But I'm gonna inject my opinion here, because I'm gonna be quiet about everything else on this freaking topic, like all the other topics. But I want to just inject my opinion here, because we were told that this game is going to be
Insane.
the best graphically looking Pokemon game ever, and I'm happy about that, because I'm gonna be honest. I think when I first saw Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, I guess I was just blinded by the hype, because I spilled my whole like glass of water on my head, and I was running around like a monkey in my room while streaming the whole thing happening. So I was just going crazy, you know what I mean? And I was excited. But then over time, I looked more at the graphics, and I realized the graphics are very similar to like mobile game graphics. And I actually decided to do a comparison, and they actually look very similar to those ripoffs that you find on like the you know,
The ones, yeah.
yeah, the mobile ripoffs. You know what I'm talking about? Like those really shitty like
Right.
Chinese mobile ripoffs of Pokemon.
Monster Journey or Monster Hunt,
Exactly.
something like that.
Yeah, Monster Capture, whatever the fuck they like.
Yeah.
Those, it looks like exactly. It's not even like slightly like those games. It's exactly like those games. Like, and somebody actually did the joke of like putting, you know, those like pay to win aspects of like little icons, like, oh, press here to buy in-game cash or whatever. They put that over a picture of Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and I was like, I can actually not see the difference between this and a mobile game, because it looks very, very similar. So I'm hoping that the games we're getting next year are going to be phenomenal. Like, because they said they're going to be the best looking Pokemon games ever. So I'm just hoping that shit's going to be lit. But I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I'm hoping. I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on that? Like, I want to know what you guys feel about the graphics. What do you expect them to even slightly look like? Because I'm hoping something like Ni no Kuni or like the new whatchamacallit, the new Dragon Quest. Like, if shits can look that good, like, I'm on for it for sure.
I agree with that entirely. I really feel like if it's gonna look like they can even go like super cartoony as long as everything is crisp and nice and fluid.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like absolutely amazing with that. I mean, I can't see Pokemon having like super hyper realistic graphics like you see in that one Unreal Engine trailer do you see all the time for Pokemon?
Remember that
just
one
looks like
screenshot with
garbage
like
to
the
me.
Umbreon fighting in like that
Oh
realistic?
yeah.
Yeah, that actually looked like garbage to me because that's not. I mean,
I'll see if I
it's
can find it,
so
Una.
jarring. It's so jarring to see Pokemon like that.
I just hope that if they listen to what the fans expect from the game, and however they take on any feedback, what they stated that they would do to make these games like the best that they can be before they release maybe potentially another game after that, then they'll pretty much be incredible. I don't see why not. Like they've already stated that the graphics are going to be like top of the range, that the games are going to be like just something completely different compared to the standard, like
Yeah,
Pokemon game that we've already played. So
that's the thing. When they said the graphics are going to be even better, I was surprised because I talked about this in my video yesterday. Like, personally, when I looked at Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I didn't have a problem with it because it looked fine to me. It looked like a really good HD Pokemon game. So, like, if you told me right now that until the end of the Switch's life cycle, every Pokemon game would look like that, I wouldn't have a huge problem with it. Like, I don't think it looks terrible.
but the fact that they've now said, these games are going to be even better, I'm thinking,
Yeah, like,
Well,
what
we'll
does it
think
look
about
like,
what-
man? Yeah.
Dragon Quest. I'm not. Don't expect these games to look like hyper realistic because they would not do that because it just isn't Pokemon. But I have to want to say one thing. Here's the thing. I think that the jump we'll see is, and I don't know if people realize this, but like if you look at X and Y versus Sun and Moon, that's a huge jump in graphics.
That is a
there.
big
Like
jump.
that's a
Yeah.
big jump. People don't realize that. And I hear people always complaining about like Sun and Moon looks trash or whatever. Like whenever like we talked about the graphics for for the Switch games before we knew Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee was a thing. Like I used to say like all the time. I was like, dude, if we can just get graphics that are Sun and Moon, but like upscaled properly.
That's fine.
And not like that's gonna be amazing. I'm happy with that. But what we got instead was graphics that I'm fine with. Like I'm okay with the graphics in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee games. I'm fine with them. They look great, right? But they're not like super crazy. To me, like it feels like I'm kind of looking like at X and Y, but more vibrant. That's what I feel like when I look at like these games, like X and Y upscaled and a bit more vibrant. That's what I feel like.
I think you're right about that because during an interview with Eurogamer, they said that the 2019 core RPG Pokemon game is said to be in the style of X and Y and Sun and Moon.
And Sun and Moon, yeah.
There you go. Like,
Yeah, and I think
probably
that
just-
would be great because
they're just
the
be
thing.
crystallized versions.
Have you played? Like, has anybody here played Sun and Moon on 4K resolution on Citra? Because that shit looks good.
I've seen the
No,
gameplay.
I've
though.
seen it.
Yeah, I've seen the
seen
gameplay. My
gameplay as
computer
well.
can't run that.
Rip.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I put that
picture-
picture of that really unrealistic Pokemon game on screen if you guys want to see it, just like
Yeah.
people can see it.
Yeah, that was a picture from Sleeping Dogs, actually. I think. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs, and somebody just made like a UI and took the models from I think Pokken or some shit. Well, not Pokken. No. I think it was from Ark Survival Evolved, because there's a mod for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy to tell it was fake because they forgot to put a gender for the Umbreon, but...
Oh yeah, why didn't I bring that up when I talked about it? Because I remember I was debunking it, but I guess I forgot.
Yeah, with the Pokemon graphics, I almost expect it to look kind of like Mario Kart 8, honestly, because it's like cartoony, but yet
Yeah, it'll
really
be some
stunning.
type of like, maybe
Maybe
Zelda
like
Breath
a
of the
step,
Wild.
maybe even maybe a little bit below that, but like somewhere, I feel like it could look like Mario Kart does, which would be insane. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, because Pokemon Trainer Red said
I
something in
mean,
chat
those-
right now.
what?
Like I don't know if you guys see what he said right there, but like there is actually a comeback to that I want to just give real quick. Actually, their team right now, just in Game Freak itself, not counting what's the other one called? Creatures Inc. Not counting Creatures, they actually have over 300 employees over at Game Freak right now. Because you can't look at the Wikipedia shit and find the actual numbers because the numbers go up and down. They hire people for specific amounts of time and don't always keep them there as active, workers. Like they have 100 people that are active, full-time employees, but then you have people you hire and pull in all the time that are supposed to work on different aspects. And they have 300 currently. This is what they said during just look through one of their Q&As that they did when they were doing this whole announcement. They specifically said they're up at 300 people working right now. And on top of that, keep in mind, they also have Creatures Inc., which has 100+ employees as well. And they are also hiring more people all the time to work, alongside them. So you're not sitting at 100 people working. You've got maybe 500 to 600 people actually working on these, this upcoming game, plus whatever comes after that. So it isn't just that amount of people. And also these games, as far as we've heard from them so far, they by the time they're released, they will have been in development for about 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and also comparing it to Zelda is like a kind of a dumb thing because we aren't saying it's gonna look like Zelda, and also, you know, Legend of Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, it looks great and all, but like, you know, it isn't like this crazy, amazing, super, you know, hyper realistic graphics or anything. It's just like cartoony graphics. It's just that the game itself is really amazing because they made the general gameplay and stuff amazing. You know what I mean? And the overall world felt like generally great. Persona 5 graphics, that'd be pretty. I don't know. I wouldn't really dig that. I think it would be pretty weird. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, Mario Kart 8 graphics. That's.
I
like,
mean, yeah. But would they be able to do that on a large scale, you know, level? Is my question.
Like
sure
a
they'd find a
bit
way.
below that, obviously, but I think they could do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The thing that
Also,
I wanted to
off
talk
topic, but let's. Oh, sorry. I just want to say, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee look like Animal Crossing, and it's weird. If you actually compare them, I don't understand, but they do.
Mhm.
So anyway, you can say what you're going to say now.
Yeah, but the thing I was gonna say was, he specifically said, the president of the Pokemon company, that the games that are gonna be coming out next year are gonna be games that longtime fans have been waiting for. So I just wanted to speculate a little bit. What do you guys think that he could mean by that? Like some features that people have always wanted in Pokemon? Because I was talking about this, and I was saying maybe like a post game where you could go to another region or something like that. Because that's something everyone will want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or
I would say
different
probably some, not like. I don't think it won't be like an actual MMO, but I think it'll have MMO elements since everyone seems to want that kind of thing. Like that's been like a meme within the community. So I think maybe the online they'll do something really revolutionary with it too, and the communication.
Didn't the original leak about Let's Go say that the online was going to be something like a hub for Let's Go?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, we still have to see what that looks like because that leak's been 100% accurate.
Actually, if you look, I think if you look at the online features, I think what he meant by hub was probably the hub where the Pokemon are collected. You know, the Pokemon Go hub, so to say, or like.
Oh yeah, that Safari Zone.
That's
Go Park.
Yeah, that's the hub. That's the hub. I think what he, because you know, that whole like leak, there were a few things that were a bit wrong, like
mistranslated,
just like a bit, you know, incorrect. And also, Pokemon Trainer Red, like I said, I'm not talking like, you know, you're looking at their website and shit. Like I'm talking about employees that they hire for, like, you know, freelancers and shit, because companies hire those sort of people all the time. So I'm referring to just, you know, employees that they hire, they do a thing, and then they're gone. Same thing with localization. You know, when you hire somebody to localize, they're not an employee long term. They're just there for like the thing they're supposed to. Or you don't even actually hire them directly to you. Rather, you know, you outsource that work for them to do. Same thing goes for like a lot of different companies. If you're doing animation or whatever, you outsource that work to, you know, some company in South Korea. And they do they do the animation there, and then they send it back to the US. Like a lot of American cartoons are actually made by Koreans and shit, but they're not employees of the said company. Rather, they're just outsourced work. That's what I'm trying to get across, because he was saying like they have 143 employees, whatever. Like, not really, because you outsource a lot of work. Either way, sorry, why am I keep getting stuck on this one thing? Continue. I'm sorry. I just want to like talk a little bit about that. Go on, sir.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else. We could probably move on to the next thing. Unless you guys have anything else to add.
Everyone's gone right now. It's like,
disappeared. Oh, snap. Okay. So, yeah, the core game. What else do you guys expect from this game? Do you expect it to really be good? Or, like, do you not have faith?
Well, the one thing that I wanted to talk about was he said that there's going to be many new Pokemon, which basically confirms that it's going to be Gen 8. But I wanted to talk about, do you guys actually want there to be, like, a lot of original new Pokemon? Because I think that's something that we'd all probably want, right?
I think it depends how many new Pokemon they introduce as well, because the Pokédex is just getting out of hand now, I reckon. Well, it's not getting out of hand, but it's just going to be exceeding like the levels of complexity. Like it's going to go up to like potentially 1,000 Pokemon, maybe
900.
900.
I hope
even.
we get like 100 something, around 100 plus new Pokemon.
Yeah. I want it to be like
That'd
Black
be
and
cool.
White, where they had so many like brand new Pokemon instead of just like forms. Because what we've had with
Yeah,
Gen
for
6 and
real.
Gen 7 was like there's only like 60 or so brand new original designs, but then they count like Mega Evolutions and Alola forms as like technically new Pokemon.
Yeah, and I wasn't a huge fan of that, like looking back now, because they blended so many of the old Pokemon in, and it felt kind of like repetitive in that way that you were using the same old Pokemon that you've used for like years and years and years. And like a lot of the new Pokemon you would barely see. And like I don't even remember, like, if you showed me every single Pokemon from both like Alola and Kalos, like I might not even be able to name off like all of the creatures, and like I'm able to name off all the ones from Unova and before. But like ever since Gen 6, it's just been weird because there's been so little Pokemon and they mix the old ones in. So I would like a more fresh experience.
Some of them are hard to forget. Some of them are hard to forget, but some of them are like so easy. Like I just realized, like I think a year after Pokemon X and Y came out, I realized that Trevenant had like a previous evolution, the Phantom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then the best option would be to do what Black and White did, which was don't actually give us a single Pokemon from previous generations until post game, which would be
that would
be awesome.
Game, like where it's like a reboot, but yet it's familiar and all that stuff. Like we have all the, you have tons of new Pokemon, and like it's this new world, and they try to be ambitious again.
I would love that if they like forced you to use Gen 8 Pokemon for the main story.
Yeah, I want that.
That would be so awesome. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would be. That's what most people want.
Too.
Instead of just like X and Y, where you see like, I don't know, like a Staraptor or something, and you're like, all right, well, I already know that's good, so I'm just gonna catch that.
Yeah, and then you get the Kanto starter, which was like a cool little throwback, but at the same time, I don't want to use like the same Pokemon over and over and over again. Like I want to try something new.
Well, the thing is, Alfstone said people would bitch. Why would people bitch about that? I think that people would love that because we keep getting like the same, same thing, all the time, like the same Pokemon all the time. Like for example, for myself, I didn't have too much fun with Sun and Moon because initially, when you start playing it, there isn't really too many Pokemon outside of like the starters and stuff that you get encounter early on. And a lot of the Pokemon you see early on is either Alola forms of Kanto Pokemon or just Kanto Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like
me or in Sun and Moon, were you like I felt like I barely actually saw Alola Pokemon. I felt like it was mostly old ones.
Yeah,
like
no, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that I didn't like that. It kind of made the games feel less, I guess, of their own. It felt like, I don't know.
But that was also, I guess, the point of them. They weren't supposed to be like the the kind of large scale. Because the thing with Black and White was they were supposed to be these large scale reimaginings of Pokemon, like a kind of like you said, reboot of Pokemon, where you kind of get an equivalent to all the previous 151 Pokemon again. Of course, there were issues. Let's be honest. A lot of people hated Gen 5 because so many shitty designs. But it's like, okay, you say there's a lot of shitty designs, sure, but they don't number the amount of good designs that we got. Like so many cool Pokemon we actually got from Gen 5.
For sure.
I feel like people bitch too much about Gen 5. My
only problem with Gen 5 was the linearity with it, but other than that, like it was a good generation. They did some good stuff.
Well, every Pokemon is kind of linear, to be fair, though.
But like,
I think it was the backtracking.
More like point A, point B.
For me, it was more the backtracking. That was what I hated, because like sometimes you have to just go to one place. It's like, hey, you're done here. Now go back to exactly the way you came from because you got something to do there as well, and then you can continue. It's like I didn't really appreciate that. I don't know. I really hope they just give us more. Honestly. The story was great. So I hope they give us an open world.
I feel like people underrate that now. The story in Black and White. I feel like
the lore and the story was so good.
Yeah, like it's hands down the best story in my opinion for Pokemon games.
I mean, I agree with Ruffles. I definitely want a more open world game. At least if they got rid of like the world being based on like grid design, I feel like
limitations. Get rid of that as well.
Even if the story wasn't like expressly less linear, it would feel less linear because you have the illusion of more freedom. I mean, I'm saying I would want them to give us more freedom, but even if that little change would make all the difference.
Massive difference.
Yeah,
but like Gen 5 introduced so many cool things.
I mean, like with Pokemon Go, right? The Pokemon Go players should be fine. I mean, they literally had to explore like the entire Earth just to catch Pokemon. So I doubt like a game will be that bad.
Well, that's Masuda said actually something about that, because he said they want to kind of take what Pokemon Go did, not in terms of like the catching and stuff, but like the openness. Like what I mean, like he basically said like he talked about how like. With whatchamacallit, with like when they were looking at like making these next games or whatever, that a thing that they really looked into was like we've already had now a Pokemon game that is quote unquote open world, but we want to look at like what we can kind of take from that and implement in the future. You know what I mean? But like I mean, we're getting Let's Go, you know, those games kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that's not what they meant, because, you know, he was talking about the openness of Pokemon Go for a bit, but like that wasn't the main focus on what he was talking about. So I'm hoping that there's going to be, you know, some sort of more open feeling to it with like Gen 5, because Gen 5 to me is awesome.
Excuse now.
Well,
too, because
yeah, there actually isn't no excuse
on the home console and all of that. Like on the handheld, it makes sense because like it's a portable device. It's less power, and of course, it's made to be something that you can play anywhere. So like in short bursts, it can be good. But when you have a home console, it's a little different level design wise. So I hope that they actually, you know, design this new region with the Switch in mind, with people playing it on their TV in mind, and having more options and stuff.
The two things that I always mention when people say that Gen 5 is bad is that they've done two revolutionary things in Gen 5, which is introduce a Pokemart inside of the Pokemon Center, and there's unbreakable TMs, and you can use them unlimited times. I thought that those two things were amazing when they did that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
A lot of people just forget about that.
And the repel thing, where it's like, remember where it asks you if you want to spray the repel?
Yeah. It just asks you right away instead of going to your bag. Yeah, right. I hated that.
Yeah, that changed the game. Like,
I mean, you can tell that Game Freak are always trying to add in like newer shortcuts to make the games feel much better. So hopefully the new generation 2019 Pokemon game will hopefully continue that path and obviously make the gameplay just much more swift for the gamers.
Yeah, like add more depth, but at the same time, streamline. Like do a good balance.
Like don't overdo it, but at the same time, make it just a bit more. I don't know what's the word. Like you said, a bit more in depth, like you were saying. In game.
Yeah, like more exploration, a better story, stuff like that.
Hopefully, it's not short as well. I don't want it to be too short. I mean, it can't be too short. I mean, on the Switch, it should be a decent length.
Yeah, it seems like it's their passion project too, from what they've described so far. So
yeah, precisely.
I hope that it's really it. Like, I really hope it does that, like the good stuff.
All right, well then I guess we could start talking about the next big thing, which is Nintendo's E3 presentation. So I basically just went through and I put a bullet point list of just all the big topics. We can just talk a little bit about it real fast, give our thoughts, and then really just give our overall opinion on Nintendo's E3. So yeah, the first thing was like that really weird game that they showed off in the beginning. I forget how you even say it. It's like Daemon X Machina.
There's so many.
With all
there's so many different ways to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of that? The flying robot game?
I was confused with that at first. Like I thought, like, is this like Xenoblade something? Like, you know, that Xenoblade Chronicles X where I had the mechs, and then I was like, wait, is this Gundam? And I didn't really know.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. What really killed me inside is that like we never heard about this from leaks, and it was a 2019 game, so it kind of set us up to expect more surprises after that. You know, in the presentation, because they said 2018 only, and
and then they start off with the 2019 game.
Yeah, and it had, you know, we saw no leaks about this specific game, so it seemed like the presentation would be a surprise and would have 2019 games, and it set us up for maybe a better presentation. But turns out there really wasn't much to this, in my opinion, at least. The presentation, like, Smash Bros. Was like the most amazing thing ever, but the presentation was objectively just.
All right, so yeah, I guess.
But the game itself, cool. Like, new IP, it'll probably be good.
I'm hyped for it. As a fan of Gundam and like mechs and shit, like that shit look good. I like that. That game looks amazing, but god damn it, like
quality.
I don't know. I'm just. I guess we're gonna get more into the Nintendo Direct in general, but I don't know.
All right, so no more thoughts on that. We can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
All right, so basically the next thing. I don't really play Xenoblade, but they showed off Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. I don't know if any of you care about that.
That shit. I
at all.
Misa got words on that. Misa got words because Xenoblade Chronicles. That shit is like I bought it. I was like, you know what? I need something to play on the Switch because I don't want to play online game. Like I don't want to play Splatoon or Pokemon or whatever because it's kind of boring after a while. And I want to play like an RPG. Dude, that game is loaded with like content. Like you've got a clean 150 hours of gameplay to do in that game. And this like expansion, they essentially said like this expansion is a whole game in its own. Like you've got essentially a whole like things Xenoblade, like, you know, Xenoblade 2, but like again, you know what I mean? Like that's how much content now. So I'm excited for that shit. Like I still haven't even finished like the game itself. So you know, once I'm done with that, I'm definitely picking up the expansion pass for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people were happy about it on Twitter, so I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw all the Xenoblade fans were like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" So
Yeah,
let's go
because
for them, I guess.
it's so much like content, so much content.
Yeah, aren't they releasing it as like a separate game even too? Like
No. It's you have to have the base game.
Yeah, it's an
yeah, like
expansion.
some kind of cartridge bundle or something like that, though.
Yeah, you can
I
buy
thought
them
I heard
like
something about that.
you can buy them like as a full on thing, but like
Yeah.
it is an expansion pass, so to say.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, the next thing we kind of already talked about it with the Pokemon stuff. It was basically how Mew comes with the Pokeball Plus. We are pretty much already covered that, I guess.
Oh,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
like-
My only thought on this is since this is for the more casual game, I guess it might not mean anything, but I do hope that this doesn't mean that overall with the Pokemon games on the Switch that the pattern continues where it's very easy to get a mythical Pokemon, because obviously you just buy the Pokeball Plus and then you get Mew in your game. But like before, remember when they had like purpose and meaning with I
have a full on
Ruby
rant on this.
Sapphire and
Yes,
and
yeah.
Fire Red, Leaf,
Oh
Green.
my boy!
Like all the
Oh my
events where you could go to
and all
separate
that,
places.
and all those events,
Yeah.
even like Platinum, where you could get like Darkrai, and you'd fall asleep, and then you went on like the island.
Yep, I miss all
and
that.
yeah, like all the legendary mythical Pokemon used to have purpose. You would go
Boy!
through like trials, and Mew was even cool, and like Fire Red, Leaf Green, where you could go on that little island, and then you would chase it around.
Yep.
Like those,
Yeah.
they used to have purpose, and they got rid of that ever since Gen 6. And I was hoping to see a comeback of like that meaningful experience with mythical Pokemon. And this is not a good sign with Mew, but we'll see what happens because this is obviously the casual game and it might not mean anything.
I mean, the thing
My
with
dude, I am
Mythicals is just
raging.
it's just go to the store, get the code, and put it in, and you basically get a
yeah, it's
powerful Pokemon.
not cool.
Yeah, I miss like the,
Okay.
the Liberty ticket and all of that in black and white.
Yeah,
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Renty.
Oh, here we go.
Dude, no, but I agree with you so freaking much because I have been talking about this shit so many times. I hate mythicals now because they're so boring. There's no purpose to them. Like they become so useless. What happened with them, dude? Like they used to be fun in the past. Now it's just like, hey, bring your cringy ass like 3DS to a freaking GameStop, get a code, and get the fuck out of here. It's like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why? Like.
I wonder if like they purposely just don't do it anymore because they're like, what's the point if it's just gonna get data mined within an hour of release?
Yeah, I feel like they might also do it just because it's less work and people don't really care now.
Yeah.
Like you don't really see the fan base crying about it. Like they just don't care. And I feel like with a lot of things, like the little things that are being removed from Pokemon, the fan base overall just doesn't care, and so there's not like a lot of noise made. It's not like with Smash Brothers where Waluigi ended up forcing Reggie to respond.
Oh, we'll get to that.
The Pokemon community was that vocal with the some of the issues that we've been having, like the lack of post game, lack of Battle Frontier, lack of mythical Pokemon being stuff like that.
I think that's the purpose of the surveys then, actually. But I have a thing to inject there, and which is like, what happened with mythicals in general, though? Because like when even legendaries, actually, I fucking hate legendaries as well. Like, what's happened with them as of late?
Oh
Because
yeah, like the catch rate where you like throw one Pokeball and it's already
either they're easy
like
to
they did in
catch.
Sun and Moon and X and
Like,
Y.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely.
Either they're easy to catch, or like there's no like the thing is,
I
right?
remember on like the Game Boy Advance games and all that, like you would have to.
You remember the
pray-
Reggies?
spam
You remember
all
the
day.
Reggies?
Oh my
The
Yeah.
god.
Reggies, my dude.
Oh my God,
dude.
that was the craziest puzzle ever.
Exactly.
With the whaler
I
and
was
everything.
so frustrated. I spent hours as a kid because obviously I didn't like use the internet when I was a little kid, so like I had to learn, and then I had to have someone like help me at school that knew how to do it.
Yes, that was my freaking life. That was the best. That was the
That
best
puzzle
part about
was
it.
the
I love
best
all
of
those
all
puzzles.
time.
Yeah.
I hope they can bring that back. Though,
Yes.
like them sort of puzzles and
But
just
Omega
the
Rush.
unique side of obtaining a legendary.
This is like the issue with Pokemon games nowadays is that they make them so easy. Like they're it's kind of a brain deadly easy like thing to like go through, right? There's no challenge, there's no mystery. You know what I mean? That was the best part about the
I
whole
miss
game.
the puzzles.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the
exactly.
mystery, the puzzles,
Yeah.
the the adventure in it, right? That was the fun part about it, because like Endgame the Cubes, like you said, my man, like you brought it to school because you didn't have internet. Same thing for me, dude. I didn't know what the hell to do. I remember like that when I got the Master Ball, I was like, okay, this unlocks everything. I got to make sure to save this. So I went to school, got these really weird like theories and shit. People telling me like, dude, you got to do this and this crazy thing. Like think like Mew is under the truck thing. You know what I mean? Like that was my life, but like during Ruby and Sapphire. Exactly. But like it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was like there was this funness to it where it was like hard to achieve things and get things. Catching Groudon for me after wasting my Master Ball like an idiot was a task, my dude. Like you had to sit there okay, let me save before the legendary, then let me stock up, but let me make sure to stock up on a bunch of Ultra Balls. Oh shit, this is gonna take ages, and you sit there and you like keep trying to catch it. It's super hard. It was so much fun, but now it's just like
it taught you to like not give up and to be persistent, because with a lot of things in life you're gonna have to keep trying and you're gonna keep failing, and like that's a better message for children to get.
And I mean kids now have internet too. They'll look it up if they don't understand it.
I know, it's so sick.
Like,
dude,
I miss all those puzzles. Like, I remember Gen 4, specifically for the puzzles, like, I miss all that because I remember with, like, Pokemon Platinum, I couldn't get through the Distortion World. It was just so hard because I forgot, like, I didn't know you were supposed to get all those, like, I didn't know you had to meet, like, Azelf and Uxie and all of them and then use Strength on the rocks to push them down the holes and all that. So I didn't know any of that. Yes. And it was so hard. I was, like, walking on the walls that keep ending up on the same place, and I was like, I have no clue. So I'd go to school or whatever, and I'd talk to my friends, and they'd keep telling me all these things. So, like, I miss all that. I mean, and like they could make the games hard now and people will still look it up online. There's going to be a game explain tutorial like 20 minutes after the game comes out. But I'm just saying, like, I miss like all those challenges and like the Whirlpool Islands and like Soul Silver when you caught Lugia, like stuff like that. I just yeah.
The internet.
What happened?
No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah. I guess the internet happened. I don't know.
Yeah, but like it's like, I mean, the internet was also the way for most people to discover these things, right? Because I remember I didn't have a clue what to do until somebody who actually had internet connection told me, okay, if you want to catch Reggie Ice or whatever. Yeah, exactly. If you knew the guy, he would tell you like, okay, this is what you got to do. And then you did it. It's like, I feel like a lot of the kind of the joy out of getting a Pokemon is kind of gone now. Like, because like I hate that and I know like, okay, this may be different for different people, like how they feel about it. I hate that you can go to like a GameStop or like not even GameStop, just go to like, just join on the Nintendo newsletter or whatever it's called and get like a free shiny Zygarde or whatever, or like get a free, a bunch of legendaries for free or whatever. Like, and even also when they added like the ability of catching legendaries in ultra wormholes, like super easy, I was just so.
Gosh, yes, that was so
it was
annoying.
so shitty. I was like, yeah, exactly. It's like, why would you do this? Like,
oh yeah, I walked into a portal and then here's the Pokemon right in front of me. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you just
click on it. Like, have to go into like, you'd have to get a ticket and then go to like go on the ferry, and then you went to this mysterious cave and then you had to walk through it and use Flash to like actually see, and then you had to go down and like actually find it, and yeah, it used to be more fun.
I think they missed the opportunity with the wormholes. I think it would have been so cool if, like, when you were going to catch Mewtwo, like, once you go through the portal, it puts you in, like, Cerulean Cave or something like that. Like,
yes, you could go on, like,
every single legendary.
Off. Yeah, you could go
that
on,
would have
like,
been so sick.
Of the regions. Oh, that'd be so good. And that would be a way to, like, partially kind of tease, like, remakes of all the different regions,
Kind of, yeah.
Like, imagine actually ending up in, like, En's Castle or something. Like,
that'd be wicked.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the only other thing that I just wanted to add to the end of this is all the people that keep saying that this is a $50 Mew for the Pokeball Plus. The thing that I gotta say about this is you're still getting a product at the end here. The thing that I'll have a problem with is if Game Freak ever decides to just charge money for mythical Pokemon just by themselves. That's when it will be a problem and people will be disappointed. But like here, you're still getting a Pokeball Plus. I think last year when Gold and Silver came out on the Virtual Console, if you bought that, you would get like a Celebi to add into your game. Like that's not a problem because you're still getting something.
Like the beginning of time.
Yeah,
you're getting that.
But if they ever say like pay $5 to get this Gen 8 mythical that you can only get by paying that, then that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that would be.
The thing though is they kind of do that already in Japan, where if you want to actually, but at the same time, you also get something in return there, which is like you get the Pokemon plus you get to like see the movie or whatever, because like in Japan, I know, but at the same time though, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, so hypothetically, right? Let's say I want Mew in the game. Because, like, okay, I don't know if Mew is going to be in the Pokedex and count as a Pokedex encounter or whatever. Like, if it's going to be in there. But, like, how would you, hypothetically, complete your Pokedex if, you know, you don't have the last Pokemon? And the only way to receive it, which, by the way, we know now, the only way to receive Mew in these games, and this is confirmed, by the way, is through buying it. Because you can't, like, here's the thing, right? You can't catch it in the game, because it's fucking Mew. And you can't actually transfer from Pokemon Go your Mews from there. You can't do that. They actually specifically point out you can't do that. So the only way, as of right now, until we, you know, the games are released and maybe it's going to be some wacky way to get it, like in-game, for now, we can't actually receive it unless we buy it, technically speaking. But at the same time, you're right. You do get a product in return, which kind of like balances itself out. But I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling like weird about it because I'm like, okay, I get it as like maybe like give it to people early on, or like give it to people for free so they can just have something extra for buying it. You know, like, oh cool, you know, I bought like this Pokeball Plus, and now as I'm walking home I can turn on this Pokeball Plus and I can hear Mew, like, you know, crying in the Pokeball as I'm walking home. Like, that's cool and all. But like, then my question is, okay, so do I need to spend $50 to also have Mew, or is this just an extra thing, early access, so to say, to this Mew as an extra incentive to people buying this product? Or is this the only way for me to receive this Pokemon? And I've seen people argue like, oh, but, you know, Mew is an old Pokemon, you know, herda. It's like, sure, you say whatever you want, but still, I want to be able to get every Pokemon in the game, you know, without having to be limited to missing out on a specific Pokemon just because it's, you know, it's a Pokeball Plus exclusive. It's just, I don't know.
You see, that's where Game Freak are like thinking about, oh, the younger kids are going to want to have this cool little Pokeball in their hand, you know, play the game, and then at the same time they're going to be like, oh, we're going to get Mew. Whereas for us hardcore fans, we're thinking it's just such a limitation because we just want to complete the Pokedex, enjoy the game, move on to the next game, and progress forward. But yeah, like Rafford said, it's just a bit of a madness, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, right? Like, it's like, it's not world shattering or world ending. Yeah. Like, if it was the brand new Pokemon, like the brand new Pokemon, that would be the issue. That would be pissing me off.
Big problem.
Yeah, but like, I can agree with people. Like, it's just Mew. Like, you know, it's whatever.
There's other ways to get it.
Yeah, there's other ways to get Mew, whatever. Like, you know, why cry about it? Sure, whatever.
But you know, something's just coming to my head now. The thing is, though, I really hope they don't do this, but I don't know if anything's been confirmed either, is the fact, obviously we know that we can send over special gifts from the games to Pokemon Go in order to get this new Pokemon. But what if, in order to do that, we had to complete the Pokedex, including Mew, in order to be able to send over that gift? Do you reckon that's something that could be...
I don't think we'll do it, but that'd be a problem.
Here's the thing, right? They specifically said that it's going to be incremental. So you sending Pokemon from Go to the game itself, which is the only way to send, by the way, is going to be incremental. So I assume the gift giving is going to be incremental as well, is what I would assume. Because is it only going to be one Pokemon that you're going to be able to send over then? Because that would be kind of lame, I would say.
I feel like it would have been smarter for them to just make the gift the Gen 8 Pokemon. And then you can actually catch the Gen 8 Pokemon once the Gen 8 game actually comes out, so it's not that controversial. And then you actually had an event for Mew and everything, since Mew's always been like this big thing.
I think that would be a problem.
That's what I would do instead.
I think that would be a problem, because then you're limiting literally a Pokemon that people have never had their hands on to people only paying for it.
On it the next year, so it won't really matter.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, cool, so I have to wait a long time while somebody who, you know, just had more money than me and could afford buying a freaking Pokeball gets access to it early. Personally, I feel like that would be kind of the wrong way to go about it. I feel like the way they're doing it right now, I don't love it, but I'm like, whatever about it at this point. Like, it's just, you know, whatever, give Mew to people, cool. But
as long as there's no limitations in order for us to get this new Pokemon, or either for us to be able to transfer it or do whatever we have to do just to make the games even more enjoyable, then that's okay. But if Game Freak, I don't think, like Era was saying, I don't think Game Freak would take a turn to make that
I doubt
so hard to get
much, like, depth to this. Like, I don't think anything bad is gonna happen from it. I think it's just a one little thing that they're doing just cause.
All right, the next thing, and I guess we could talk about, was something that I got pretty happy over: Super Mario Party, brand new Mario Party game on the Nintendo.
Yes, my dude.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And the thing that got me the most excited, not even the game itself, just the fact that they said there's going to be online finally. Because that's the worst part about Mario Party. Like, you can only basically play it a lot when you got friends that come over your house. There's nothing to do, like, online.
So, yeah. Are any of you? Are you guys gonna day one it? Like
Yeah,
buy day
probably.
one?
I'll probably get a
Nice.
day one.
I probably
Oh,
won't
man.
get it because I'm not.
I probably
don't
won't
care
either.
for Mario Kart,
I mean, I'm gonna buy it eventually, but like, I thought for myself I was gonna buy Super Mario Aces, whatever it's called, as well. Like day
yeah.
one, I was like, dude, I love the world tournament thing. But then like, I looked at reviews and people are like, it's a great game, but there's like nothing to do. Like, you know, it's kind of lacking in anything beyond like just.
I
basic-
saw it. It's disappointing. Nintendo was like really promoting that too. I feel like.
Oh, they were
But,
pushing it
I
hard
don't
because they wanted to be the
Like,
new
yeah, like,
the,
at
Nint- the
E3
new Mario
at E-
football or whatever.
Yeah, at E3 you are actually forced to play it if you wanted to play like the third-party Switch games. So,
Oh, that's
yeah, they
just
were, like,
depressing.
yeah, they were forcing people to play it. Yeah, and you had to do it to like get the collectibles too and stuff like that. So you basically had to go and play Mario Tennis for like 20 minutes to actually get to play.
Well, that's
nothing.
just.
Or maybe they just like really believe that a lot of people were gonna love it or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but the game, I mean, it seems like it turned out meh.
Mhm.
I was originally gonna get to, but I got Crash instead.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people kept saying like the story mode was really short, but I just keep saying like, show me another tennis game that has a story mode. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it looked just boring, like the story mode. I watched the
I think,
gameplay of it on Game Explain. I was like, that's not. I don't know, not huge.
yeah, my brother got it, but
Mario Tennis
I didn't get any games at all this
color.
year on the Switch yet.
I do. There's been like nothing.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
haven't
this year,
gotten-
no huge
Yeah.
awesome release yet.
I was
It's been
thinking
kind
about
of
a
weak
few.
year.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
if I think like yeah, I think like Kirby and Nintendo Labo and Mario Tennis are like the only original big
Mhm.
Yo.
releases.
Yo,
Like
quick question.
non-ports.
Where the fuck was Yoshi?
Oh, they said that already. It's gonna
It
be
was,
shown
yeah,
later this year.
2019.
Okay, cause I just remember that I was like, where the fuck was Yoshi? Because we saw gameplay of that shit in 2017.
Yeah, it got
Have you
delayed.
ever played
Yeah.
Woolly World? Because that game is so wholesome. I can't wait for Yoshi on this.
That game actually
It
looks
was so good.
pretty fun. Yeah.
It
I don't know,
was
just-
so wholesome. Like it actually made me so happy. I couldn't. It was. It was so good. So I'm excited for that.
What else do we see though beyond Mario Party?
We actually have a special little list that no one gets to see except for us. And yeah, we got Mario Party. We got
Oh, did you guys see the thing
Fire
I sent?
Emblem.
Yeah,
Which
Fire
I
Emblem.
guess we'll talk about next.
Oh, that shit look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Fire Emblem. For
It got
sure.
delayed. So what do you guys think
I-
about that? Like it getting delayed?
Yeah, but that's. I mean, yeah.
Because that was
It's
supposed
so
to come out this
bad.
year.
Like we already didn't get a ton of games this year, and then we get Yoshi and Fire Emblem delayed. But at the same time, like once that holiday season actually comes, we do have two like monumental releases with Pokemon and Smash. So I'm not gonna pretend to be like too mad and like we still have a lot of good stuff. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think that Fire Emblem maybe would have been like if it was actually ready, would have been cool as like an earlier release in the year, like they usually do. But I mean, they needed more time. So like, what can you do?
Mhm. And I feel like it's gonna be pretty early next year. It'll probably be like a March or April title.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it looks like there's some things that they have to iron out. Like, I feel like the graphics will probably look better the next time we see them. But overall, I think it's gonna be a really good game.
Personally,
And I
it looks
love
amazing.
the trailer music so much. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Personally, I've never played a Fire Emblem game, so I'm looking forward to this one. I'm gonna try it out and make that my first.
Oh, dude,
Nice.
I've got to say it looks phenomenal. As I agree, I haven't played much of them myself either, except like on the mobile game, which was
I
actually
played
a lot of fun.
Awakening. That was my first one. So good.
I played Heroes.
But, like-
I played that on my phone, but like that's not really a Fire
Like the
Emblem.
gameplay, when I looked at when I saw the gameplay in the trailer, like it looks amazing. Because like I love strategy games a lot, like shit like whatchamacallit, like Total War and stuff. So that shit, like when I saw that, I was like, this is.
Oh.
I want this. This looks amazing. Like the
Yeah,
graphics as
I
well.
love like the hordes of
Exactly.
like,
Oh,
people
God,
coming in. Ah,
it looks
it's gonna
so
be
cool,
amazing.
dude. It's gonna be great. I'm hyped for that shit. I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's gonna be a masterpiece, I think.
Yeah,
never
some people
played,
were saying they were
Fire
worried
Emblem.
because it kind of looks like Fire Emblem Warriors because of like all the hordes and stuff and like how you were taking out enemies.
Yeah, I think it's just earlier in development. It's gonna
Yeah.
look better. That always happens with Nintendo games. Like they show it, it's a little rough looking, but then it gets really good, better looking. Like after the next time you see it. So,
But
I think
also,
it'll
why
look better.
why would that be an issue?
Why
Because
was
like
it delayed?
but like I like the whole horde mode thing to it because like you got like when armies clash, you don't like if we're thinking like those times like the samurai times and shit, you didn't like push in one or two guys to just fight a few people. No, you just rushed into each other. That's what I thought looked cool about it. And like then you control different units which just like clash together with each other. That should look good to me. I don't know why people are complaining about that. I think it looks hype. In all honesty.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
All right, then I guess we can move on to the thing that I think a lot of people kept asking in the chat as well. Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch. It got leaked.
Oh boy.
Like a week or so before.
That's actually insane.
But yeah, it got confirmed.
That is insane.
Has anyone here played it at all? Like on the Switch, I mean.
I've got friends that
Have you
play
guys downloaded it yet and played it?
I would love to play it, but Sony is not letting me.
Oh, that's sad.
See, I had it on my PlayStation, but I don't know. Fortnite just isn't I played like 4 or 5 games, and it's not for me. I don't know what it is about it, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah,
I played it for the first time on the Switch, and I feel like it's like
it's bad
like
on the Switch.
really addictive, but yeah, it's not really satisfying. Like you don't really get like
It's different to the
I
other
don't know.
ones.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is a little.
It's like,
it's a weird sort of stress, really, because like I like.
but it's really
FPSs.
fun, and I get why it's popular.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I get so stressed when I play FPS, and I love it for shorter matches like COD and Battlefield, that kind of thing. But it's a constant thing in Fortnite, but you don't see anybody for like 15 minutes, and I'm just constantly stressed the whole time.
Yeah, like because once you die, it's like you're done for like ever. You have to wait.
Dropping like Tilted though, or like some big city, you'll see a ton of people right away.
I always drop Tilted, hence why I always meet people and die early. No, but like slow. I think it's weird that you don't meet anyone, because I mean it's true if you like land in a really obscure area and then you like just walk around for half the time. Yes, you're right. You don't meet anyone, but that's just like every whatchamacallit, like battle royale ever. Like I played battle royales before they became like a huge thing, like with H1Z1 and like the armor mods and shit. Like it just kind of is what it is. But with Fortnite, I think it's just like it's a faster experience. It's just kind of like faster kind of thing. Like you jump in, you die quickly, or you do shit quickly. You can kind of always get a chance to get a kill. Yeah, and the cartoony style of it. It's less like hardcore.
Fun.
Like, I mean, it can very well be the way I play it, because I do when I land like in the far reaches of places where, because all the videos I see where people play, they always they used to do that to like get their gear up and get better weapons and whatnot. So like I tend to do that too, just because it's what I've seen. And then I don't see anybody for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, don't
do that. Just jump and Tilted, dude. It's fucking hilarious because it's just a shitstorm.
It's decent,
all right, for you, Ruffled, I'm gonna download it on the Switch, and I'm gonna go full in and just right in the middle.
I will say on the Switch though, it's like low FPS. I don't know, like I didn't enjoy playing it because I played on PC mainly. But on the Switch, it's like got really low FPS, and it's just I keep having a lot of stuff.
For me, I don't know.
I don't think the game has a problem, but did you guys ever run into the problem where like sometimes the menus just freeze?
Haven't run into that much.
Because that's happened to me. Like I mean, like I couldn't get into my main account because it's on Sony, but like I created like a dummy account just to see what it was like on the Switch, and like a lot of times when I was like looking through the settings or like changing stuff, like it would just freeze, and I'd have to quit the whole app and restart it.
Weird.
Dang.
Yeah,
I haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
But the gameplay is fine. Like it works fine.
Yeah, it's so good for like playing mindlessly, and since you have like the portable like Switch now, you can do it like while watching TV or something, or like listening to a podcast. It's so good for that, like just to like unwind with and be mindless.
Definitely, for sure. What else?
Well, the big thing, or I guess we could say 60% of that E3 presentation, Super Smash Bros.
Here we go.
Ultimate. What do you guys think of that? Or initial
Finally,
thoughts?
amazing. Oh god,
I'm
predictions.
really
All the
excited.
predictions we stated, they just literally just came true. And let me not talk about Ridley. Oh, Ridley, fucking Ridley. And
Yeah.
Snake-ku, my boy, Snake-ku.
Oh,
when
yeah,
I saw that ass,
screaming.
I was ready.
I was screaming.
Dude, I freaked out when I saw Snake. I was so ready, my dude. Oh god.
every single fire, it's insane.
But
Did you guys see that Bill Trennan like basically leaked Snake the night before though?
No, but
like,
somebody actually leaked
that was-
everything.
that's-
Somebody leaked everything.
Yeah, I didn't see that part, but like I saw Bill Trennan made like a little joke on Twitter, and
I
so
didn't see
I already that's why Snake didn't surprise me much. But like basically someone was saying like, oh my gosh, Metal Gear Solid something, I forgot which game it was, turns like 10 this year. I feel so old, and he was like, you'll feel even more old tomorrow. I'm like, oh my god, Snake's gonna be in the
I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah, he did, and
Oh.
so that it didn't surprise me very much when Snake was.
That's insane.
Somebody on 4chan actually
such a
leaked
troll.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody on 4chan leaked everything.
I
Actually,
saw that.
somebody
That
leaked
was
the
hilarious.
name.
And
Yeah, I
people
was
were
gonna
like,
see if I
nice
could find
fake
that
leak.
post.
And
But it was insane though, because he leaked the name, Ridley, that every character was gonna be in it. He leaked the Echo fight. Like he leaked everything, and nobody believed it. Like I literally read the responses. People were like, "Oh ha ha, another fake leak. Fuck you!" Like,
I know.
you fucking
People
Chad
are
or
so,
whatever.
I feel like people can be so toxic with leaks. Like, obviously, take it with a grain of salt, but like these things, dude, they come true a lot. You gotta like, it's dumb to just discount them. And also, Emily Rogers, like, she got that right.
Oh yeah,
like,
she said Ultimate Smash game. She literally said
woman,
Ultimate.
Yeah, she was like, "This will be the
she
ultimate
right.
Smash Brothers," and I was like, "Oh, it
I just can't believe
literally
she
is
got it right.
ultimate,
Yeah.
like Smash Bros. Ultimate." So she was right again, and saying
That
there
is
would be no
crazy,
cuts. Like,
man.
dang.
But how do you guys feel when he said like that there might not be as many newcomers because they brought back all the old fighters? Like, are you guys cool with that?
Yeah, like
don't have a
I
problem.
personally felt like after Smash 4 with like all the like we got Pac-Man, we got Mega Man, like we got everything in one game. And I got my villager, which was like the character that I wanted the most, like from the game, like before they even revealed it. Like, okay, if they're bringing back every character ever, and then they're adding like Ridley and Inkling and all, like everything else from this point on, in my opinion, is just the cherry on top. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
And
be too hurt.
it's Smash as well, so I don't feel like there needs to be too much new, like extra new crazy shit to really make it better. Like the graphics look better. Do we have a few new
way
characters?
better.
A few new characters, new maps, revamped maps. Every single character from every previous game, is back.
Sakurai outdid himself.
Exactly, but it's like the ultimate experience, hence
Really
the fucking
is.
name. So like I've seen people bitching saying like I think the dumbest thing I've seen is like people saying it's a port, which is
my
like,
God, no.
are you fucking
Yeah.
serious? Really?
People have to be blind or something like.
No, but like it's so dumb because clearly
Yeah.
it's definitely not a port because because it's, like Smash 4 did not have
worst
Snake,
part-
did not have the Wolf and shit. Like it didn't have these characters in that first in that game. And they've added new
worst
mechanics.
The worst part is
Yeah, let me
that
see if I can
like,
find
if they
the
removed
post with all the
like characters
different
from
changes.
Smash 4 and didn't bring back every character, people would suddenly think it's a new game. Like if they made more cuts, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. They'd be like, "Oh, this is a new game" because like characters from Smash 4 aren't in it, so like it's totally.
People say that it's a port because it looks similar to Wii U. Like, did you not expect it to look similar to it? Like,
it's
it's obviously
Smash.
gonna look like
the
that.
leap from 1080p to 1080p. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
that
Oh,
huge.
God.
Yeah, but if you actually compare the graphics, there's some pretty good stuff. Like
Yeah, they
it's
basically
a
changed all
lot
the
better.
shading and all the textures on
there's
like
this little
Bowser
thing
and
I
stuff.
noticed. Like how it's like 1, 2, 3, go. Well, I noticed like with the previous with Smash Wii U, it would just like go out off the screen, but with this one actually goes up in fames and disappears.
Yeah.
Like the little particles. It's
I
just
love
so
the
pretty.
loading screen, like when you're going into the battle or whatever, like where it shows like all the fighters.
They did that for the esports, right? I think that's what I heard. That they did like those loading screens with like the characters' images and the names and stuff.
Well, that's for all of them, I'm
Specifically-
pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. It is for all of them.
No, I mean like,
Like every
I think it's in every
character-
mode. Like if you do 8 players, it'll still.
Oh,
be like that.
you mean like that? Yeah. No. I'm just mentioning it because I remember like people would talk about like this is amazing because the issue with like tournaments always was that like when you were in the loading screen or whatever, or like when you were waiting for the match to start or whatever, like you kind of had just like nothing there. So they had to make graphics for it, like tournaments, Evo and stuff had to make their own graphics and stuff to have on the screen to show the names of the players and the like which character they were playing as. But like now they have that actual thing in the game itself, which is it's not the craziest thing in the world, but like it's an extra addition that just makes it, just a tiny bit extra better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also like how it shows.
That's what I
the
like about
score.
Sakurai. He pays such attention to like detail, and
Exactly.
all of his games just have so many just little things that make you really happy. Like there's just so much that he packs into them, and I wish Pokemon was that way. Anyway,
I love how they
Sending
fixed all
shots.
the problems too that were in the other ones, like just with the gameplay. Like he says, like
Yeah,
you're
like
not
the dodging and the
Yeah, the
smash
dodging.
attacks
I was
and
so happy. I'm like all the for glory links online that just kept dodging and spamming arrows. Like you just can't have that anymore, which is gonna be awesome.
for sure. Oh god, those links online.
Yeah, it was so annoying. It was just the link that would spam up smash, spam arrows.
You guys would have hated me as villager. I would always plant the tree and then dodge and chop it on people. Like people would get oh my god, it was hilarious. I would get people so angry.
We should honestly do a
Not-
Smash Bros
not gonna
tournament one
do
day.
that,
Oh
so-
yeah, literally. That
We
was-
should do a Smash Bros tournament one day.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
let's do it. Do it.
We could do that as like a podcast special.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
We could even do it as like the Christmas special for the podcast too.
Oh, it's
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But do you guys think that there's gonna be DLC?
Probably. I think there's a chance.
Hopefully. I mean, some people still think that there's going to be new characters, so
I think for
Oh, I
DLC.
think there's gonna be some more new characters.
Yeah.
Because Bill Trina made a comment before E3 saying that they weren't going to show the entire roster.
Mm-hmm.
So
Belmont. So
yeah, there was that rumor with that got everything right, every single thing, and it says that Simon Belmont is going to be in the game and it is playable. From Das Vergman, like you guys are familiar with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The specific source, I think, like Das Vergman overall isn't very like he gets things wrong, but this source that gave him the information is usually spot on. So I think this is going to be pretty interesting. They also said that the Minecraft is going to have some kind of representation. They didn't say if it was going to have a playable character, but like maybe it'll have a
probably
stage
not
or
a playable
something.
character. Maybe.
So I know that like
Or maybe the
Etika is
pickaxe.
just so excited right now.
The pickaxe could be like a
Yeah,
weapon
like an
that we
item.
can pick up.
I could see that.
Mhm.
I could see, or in a kind of
Or we could just throw blocks at the enemy.
I would love like a simple Minecraft stage. Like that would be
a
cool.
TNT block.
I think they also said Game Explain actually made a video recently saying that not all of the existing stages are going to be returning.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if everybody saw that as well, but
Are there any stages that they haven't shown yet that you guys are really hoping comes back? Because I'm hoping for Poke Floats.
want
I
Fountain of
really
Dreams.
like Poke Floats. Yeah, that
I think-
too.
Fountain.
Yeah.
Those two are like those are the two that I need.
Yeah.
After that, I'm good. They can cut whatever after that. Oh yeah, and the Ice Climber stage from Melee. That stage was so good. That was
forget
like
what that
the
one was.
Ice Climber stage. If you look it up, you'll see it's like so snowy and amazing.
I think Aero made a tweet recently about Final Destination. If you want to elaborate on that, Aero.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking about that because I was confused because when they were showing the demo for Smash Bros. Ultimate, the Final Destination literally was Battlefield but just flat. So I didn't know if that was like supposed to be the real one. And I was talking about that. I'm like, is this the real Final Destination? But then people were telling me that like Sakurai said that like they were still having bugs and problems on it, so they brought like a different version of Final Destination to use it. But yeah, but also on the Smash Bros website, there's like a background that like everyone keeps saying is probably part of the new Final Destination. So I mean,
Looked quite pretty. I will say
yeah,
that.
if I can find it, I'll put it on screen. But yeah, I really think for the DLC in this game, I think they're just gonna do I think they're not gonna put characters, but I think they're gonna do a lot of like costumes for like skins and costumes for characters. Because I think that's just like it's an easy way for them to make a lot of money. Because I'll probably end up buying
with
it.
them specifically mentioning like they call because we've always had this kind of thing with the Echo Fighters with the clones, but like with them actually giving it a name, the mechanic a name now, it makes me think that there might be a little more clones than usual in this game that they add, since obviously, they've already added every character. Maybe this is just gonna be a few bonus characters.
They added Daisy, that's for sure.
like you know how people are speculating that like Shadow might be an Echo character because now we have Knuckles as an assist trophy and we haven't seen Shadow, and that's unusual because before it was always Shadow as the main But
does Knuckles do the same thing as Shadow, or is it like a different?
I don't know, but I don't think Knuckles has ever been before as assist trophy. I think this is the first time.
Yeah.
Joe, do you guys think they're gonna do the ballot thing again?
No.
Well, I
Like,
hope so.
I actually think that maybe. But I think that they might have even taken some
Yeah, that's what I think.
data from the ballot and use it in this game.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that, and they
I
didn't
definitely
Well,
feel
yeah,
like-
obviously.
Like I'll bet that might be why Ridley got because like they were like fine, like we've been asked.
We'll
enough
listen
for this,
to you.
we're just gonna do it. Yeah, like
I really want to know if that was like Sakurai's decision, or if he was just like, no, I don't want to put in Ridley, but his team was just like, no, you have to, like, you
yeah,
have to do
like the ninjas came to
it. Yeah.
we're like do it or you're done.
But I definitely think that in the ballot that they did a few years ago, I'm pretty sure like the top 10 was probably just all previous characters like Wolf and Snake, and so that's probably why they decided
Maybe that might be why they went with this direction to bring everyone back to like it seems everyone just wants the old characters. They don't care too much about a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that they're doing like Pokemon Trainer being back. That's awesome.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was so hype.
But the thing,
And
the thing
Leaf.
I was a bit, and Leaf.
And Leaf
yeah.
now.
Little's like so good.
But there was one thing that I was a bit confused about. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed as well that obviously Leaf has different, alternatively coloured Pokemon compared to.
Yeah, they're like shiny.
Oh, I
almost.
love that. Yeah, like.
But the problem is,
I
someone
love the
done a
whole mixture of
comparison
green.
with the shiny sprites, and they're completely off.
Well, yeah,
Like-
this is one of those things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those, or it could have just been in the trailer. Maybe you'll be able to actually choose, the base colors and then like these alternative ones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, Leaf.
The skins, yeah, the skins.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could be a thing, but I don't know. I want to bring one thing up though about Smash, and that is something that I noticed, which actually makes me happy, and that is how like you unlock the characters.
Oh, I love
that. It's going to be a bit more streamlined. I love that because it's just going to give you a reason to play like other parts of the game than just jumping like straight into online and just like
Yeah, it was like
remember that
underwhelming with Smash
well.
Wii U. It was like they were all just there pretty quickly, and
Yeah, he said that there's gonna be like what 50 or so characters that you're gonna have to unlock in this game.
yeah,
oh
it's gonna be
tons because
fun.
like
That's really
You
exciting.
start
do you
out
start
with
with,
like
like-
10 or 8
Yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, Lazy Gamer in the chat said that the Source Gaming website confirmed that the Japanese ballot said that it would take the most popular votes for characters and use them in their future games. So
Oh, cool.
I guess.
Interesting.
hey, pretty good. God damn, I'm yawning. Oh boy.
But yeah, I guess besides that though, Smash Bros was really the big thing. And then I guess we could just talk about like overall with Nintendo's E3. How'd you guys feel about it?
I thought it
quite
was
successful,
underwhelming and not
Yeah.
very
Underwhelming. Yeah,
Mhm.
5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was a lot of Smash. Like, because it happened while I was at work, so I wasn't able to catch it live. And every time I was able to get away back to watching what was going on, it was always Smash. I had to find other videos to find out what else was shown because every time I got onto the live stream, it was Smash.
I feel like a smarter way to maybe go about it, if they were actually planning on having a great E3, which obviously they weren't, would be to have have Smash be like a direct of its own
Yep.
Yeah.
before the actual E3 event, and then in the actual E3 event they would just have a new trailer. So like in the Smash Direct you would get like Ridley, and then the next the main E3 event you'd have other games showcase, and then maybe at the end you'd get like Simon Belmont revealed, and that would be a better way to go about it. Since obviously they did want to explain Smash Brothers a little more and really showcase this game, but they went way too. This was a Smash Bros Direct plus a little bit of extra.
It was
games.
basically Smash
Yeah.
Bros. And that's the thing. Because, like, I know people, like, were saying this, but, like, believe it or not, there's people out there who don't like Smash Bros. And couldn't care less about fighting games. So
I
that's
can't
the
believe
thing.
that.
And, like,
That's
if,
I will say it's a
if
very
you're one-
tiny percentage, but
Yeah,
there's
very
still people like that, though. That's the thing.
percentage,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's people like that, and they were forced to watch 30-plus minutes of Smash Bros. While they were waiting for, like, other games to be shown. So besides that...
yeah, it was
That's-
poorly executed.
That's what a lot. I mean, in terms of presentation, they weren't bad in terms of presentation because they didn't pull a Ubisoft. "Hell, we nailed it. You know, what I mean, they didn't pull like mistakes like or the Sony mistakes. They didn't pull any mistakes in terms of presentation. That was good, but like it was just a lack of things. It was just a lack of actual new like there was like, I mean, other than the mech game, there wasn't really any new IPs. There wasn't really anything like crazy or whatever. Like it was just kind of like just a few games and then hey, here's Smash for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, this year like Nintendo's been a bit annoying. I feel like in a lot of ways, like there hasn't been a big release yet, and we're almost
I
in
reckon they're still
July.
trying to build it up,
Smash
maybe.
Bros.
Yeah, and like I mean, we had that really good like March direct. That was a good direct,
Yep.
like with Smash, and like we got a bunch of third-party games confirmed. That was cool.
Yep.
But, like E3 wasn't very great, and the amount of releases that we've gotten are just not that great, and so it's been a little annoying of a year for Nintendo. Not their best. It's been a little underwhelming and weak for them so far.
I think the thing that it pretty much says that, like, I think we can all see that, like, Nintendo knows exactly what E3 is to them. And it's, like, not to really show us, like, a whole bunch of big surprises, because they really want that to be in their directs. Like, the whole, like, presentation where they showed us Smash Bros. At the end of the March direct, like, that would have been an insane way to start off their E3 this year.
Yeah.
But, like, they really wanted to save, like, the big hitter things like that for their directs.
But
yeah,
then,
I
Because they don't have that
understand
for, like,
them.
PlayStation. They don't have, like, a PlayStation Direct or an Xbox Direct.
but I'm a bit confused then.
I
Why
don't
didn't they do a direct for Pokemon then? Like,
Because
what-
Pokemon isn't, like, Nintendo, it's, like, it's different. It's
Well,
from
it is
Pokemon.
Nintendo because they've had like directs for every single game since X and Y. Now they've had directs for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
I reckon they're
like
probably going to release more information about it probably later.
yeah, no, for sure. We're definitely probably gonna get some sort of direct or something. You know what I mean? But like, I'm more curious as to because you just mentioned like how
Well,
they
maybe
should have done it as a direct or whatever, like the Smash thing, which I agree with. But then why are they kind of dropping the directs almost? It feels like to me.
Well, maybe
like,
it's because this game is not really aimed at people that watch the directs, but it's aimed at like Pokemon Go audience. Like, it's a more casual game, so like they
Yeah,
wanna drop a
yeah,
trailer.
you're right, you're
right.
You
I
know, you
guarantee
go
you
on the
next
trending
year-
page and you're like, oh, there's a trailer. Let me check it out. You know, like what the normies doing.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, next year with the Gen 8 games, it'll be revealed in a direct. It will not be.
Oh, for sure.
It's not going to be a random like
They're
day.
gonna do a whole special thing, probably
Yep.
earlier in the year too, than like late May, like this one was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
like
gonna be a good
February
time.
or so.
It's gonna be a really good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With Nintendo though, they're just so weird. Like last year they had crazy surprises, right? They announced Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Switch, and that was like, you know, some crazy bombs that just came out of nowhere. And then they gave us some little surprises like Yoshi and Kirby. And then this year they decide not to surprise us very much. And then with E3 2016, they decided to just show one game. And then the year before that was just a disaster. Like E3 2015. Oh my god.
E3 2015, the best part was Smash Bros.
Oh god, that was the worst. And then E3 2014, which was amazing, where they had like Smash Bros. Wii U and and they revealed Pac-Man. Like it's weird. Like one year it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Crazy.
Next year this is the worst thing ever. Next
It's crazy
year, one
because
game.
2014.
Next year it's amazing, and then this year it's again just underwhelming.
Yeah.
They're so unpredictable.
It's crazy because like we were talking about the 2014 E3 in our like last podcast, and we were talking about how they revealed like multiple characters for Smash Bros. And so we were all expecting like 3 or 4 characters to be announced this year, and it just ended up being Ridley and all the other old school characters.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
like
can
in
see
its
that
defense,
though. It
it
makes
did
sense.
unveil like a bunch of old characters. Which
Technically,
would kind of
yeah.
count as the comeback and all that goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how they'll like reveal other characters that aren't as big. Like if there's another Echo Fighter, like will they reveal it in the picture of the day thing that they're doing on the Smash Bros website?
Oh no, I'm already calling it. There's gonna be a special Smash Bros dedicated direct in November.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You heard it here. No, because they're definitely gonna
Could
do
you
that.
imagine if they repeated what they did with Mewtwo but with Waluigi?
Oh man.
I would like they like show the model of Waluigi and then it's like Waluigi.
No, they show the assist trophy and then they transform him into a character.
Yeah, that would no. Stop Waluigi. Oh my god.
I think they wouldn't want to do that because that would be giving us too much power.
Yeah,
with
because then
memes.
he would just show that like, you know, I couldn't take all the stress from you guys, so I ended up taking back my own
and
decision.
then people could be like, you know, just fucking give us the Michelin Man because we want the Michelin Man in the game. You know what I mean? It would just be ridiculous. But yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think there's going to be a Smash Bros. Direct because they still have to talk about like what the classic mode's going to be like, the All-Star mode, and the other stuff that I'm sure they're going to put in the game.
Yeah, I really hope we get some kind of story mode.
I would want that
something,
so much.
even if it's a mini little thing like adventure mode and melee. That was a really
That's fine.
Like,
Yep.
even if it's something small like that, I want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be so good.
I would love to see
Emissary probably not going to happen, but like imagine that with every character ever. That would
have been amazing.
That would make the world a better place. So.
I would like to see another something similar to Subspace Emissary, but I don't see it happening in this because of how big the roster is.
Yeah, like they're focusing on other stuff.
Yeah, it'd be really hard.
But
Like
they could do like the
incorporate all of
Octolink
them.
DLC. You know, they could like copy the Octolink DLC and do a whole story mode DLC thing, Subspace DLC. I would pay a lot for that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they definitely didn't disappoint us, so.
I just think like when Sakurai keeps saying like he didn't want the cutscenes to be leaked, I feel like he could do something where the subspace or like the story mode, he could just have that as like huge expansion or something that they could add as DLC later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because like I would totally pay for that if it was like a huge like insane content expansion that they decided to do. Because that way it wouldn't end up leaking because it wouldn't be available. Like people wouldn't get it early unless they screw up and put it in like the code of the game and it gets data mined. But yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to see how they go about that, I guess.
I feel like it's not going to happen, though, unfortunately.
I know, but we can dream.
Yeah. We dreamed about one thing, and that came true.
I know. I mean, we dreamed about Ridley. And
Ridley.
He was too big, and he made it, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I've been, like... I don't know if you guys have been, like, noticing what's been going on with like Chrom. Like it really does seem like Chrom is gonna be an Echo Fighter, like with the his costume's gone from Ike now.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't showed Robin's Final Smash. I don't know. I think that could happen. Be cool.
But yeah, I guess the last thing that here I just wanted to talk to you guys about was any other like E3 announcements that you guys are excited for. Not like Nintendo, like PlayStation, Square Enix, anything that you guys liked.
The Last of Us.
Last
It
of
looks
Us,
amazing.
Mhm.
It looks amazing. Personally, Last of Us, the first game, my favorite game of all time. So, and when I saw this like new one and the gameplay they showed, it looks amazing. Like so freaking incredible. Also, Death Stranding, hyped as hell for that shit. Like that just got me so excited when I got to see like actual gameplay because that game looks phenomenal and it's you know, we got them dudes on that game making it all pitch perfect and shit. I'm excited. Like that's like the PlayStation for me was my favorite like presentation. Of course, the other fuck ups like
game.
Really,
Oh,
I
yeah,
like,
the
I like
Spider-Man
Bethesda's
looks-
the most, in my opinion.
Dude,
I think Bethesda's the
Spider-Man
best.
was one of my first
Yeah,
games I ever played.
Bethesda's
So,
was
to
my
get
favorite.
a full one now from Insomniac Games, I'm gonna cry. Like it's gonna be so good.
I agree with whoever said like that Bethesda
Yeah, I
like
said
was
that.
amazing because I've got to agree with you. I think Bethesda won E3 in general because
yeah, definitely.
dude they revealed so many games.
And
Like
they did the
so
jokes
much
perfectly
shit.
too. Like they had the
Oh, yeah,
Skyrim on Amazon Alexa. I was
It wasn't
laughing.
cringy. It wasn't cringy. It
was
was
so funny.
phenomenal.
Yeah. And then Elder Scrolls 6 at the end. That was amazing. When they showed that off.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my god, I
That's
pissed
gonna be
myself when I
amazing.
fucking saw that. Like,
And you already
Like
know
that-
yeah, you already know it's going to be on Switch because they put the 5th one on there, so.
well,
I don't know
well.
about that.
I mean, I would
wouldn't-
think so. I think people would be
Well,
more
yeah, 'cause
disappointed.
Because they're saying these are gonna be Xbox, whatever, and PS5.
Yeah,
games.
because here's the thing, right? You
But
got to
I think
remember
the
one
Switch
thing.
will be around there. I don't think there's going to be.
No.
Yeah.
You got to remember one thing, Aero, and it's specifically why they haven't released the game yet, and why they haven't even started developing yet. They're just in pre-production.
Mhm.
They even said that, like we're in pre-production, which means don't expect this game for another 4 years or so. In reality,
Well,
is
yeah.
what we should be like. Yeah, we're
They
not
still have
supposed
that
to
space
expect
game that has to come
Yeah.
before.
exactly, which I'm
Yeah,
excited
I saw
for.
that too.
Starfield.
I'm feeling like the PS5 and the Xbox 2,
Exactly.
I don't know, are gonna come sooner than we think. Like I
Next
think it's gonna
year.
be
Next year
year or the
announcement.
year after that.
You guys think they'll
No,
be next
yeah.
year?
Guaranteed next year. Because
I
here's
do.
the thing.
I'm
We're
team
in the-
2019 for
Here's why.
whatever's going on.
There's a lot of reasons
PS5 or
actually.
Xbox or both.
There's actually a lot of reasons for it because one, PlayStation specifically said like we're looking to kind of go beyond the PlayStation, kind of like we're looking to do the next thing, and there's also been
PS4 it's at the end now.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a life cycle.
And they
And
also, you can tell with their E3 when it was way more like humble and like
Chill.
just like low budget. It wasn't like their normal grand stage or they're dropping bombs. And they even said that, they admitted to that. That's a sign that like things are wrapping up. Usually like a underwhelming E3, like not as many new announcements. That means a new system's on the
but here's the
horizon.
thing: Xbox
You can
confirmed
look
it
at
for
E3
us.
2015.
Actually,
That was
Xbox
so
confirmed
bad
it for
when
us. Actually.
happened.
But Xbox confirmed it for us, and the reason why they confirmed it for us was because they showed like the quote unquote new studios they had picked up, right? They were working on brand new IPs for Microsoft and for
like,
Xbox,
that's a sign
but
that-
that's a sign that they're planning on a new system to come out, and of course that means that obviously because the thing is they know what their competitors are doing all the time. Like PlayStation always knows what Xbox or like what Microsoft's doing, and Microsoft knows what Sony's doing. They know what the fuck they're doing on each of the sides. And the thing is, and this is why I'm not expecting like Elder Scrolls 6 to be on the freaking on the Switch, is because Bethesda specifically said they didn't want to make like Elder Scrolls 6 until the
next system,
the hardware,
PS5.
the hardware and the next innovation in hardware came, and like the evolution in hardware would come. Like they would want to do it once,
'cause,
like it was a step up.
If they announced it for like PS4 cross-platform as well as PS5 and all that stuff, then maybe which version. But it seems like they want to make this just.
Or it might just come later, like how they did it with
yeah,
Elder Scrolls
maybe
5.
with the Switch Pro, maybe we'll get some kind of beefier Switch that.
Unlikely though.
I don't
because-
think so.
I think there's gonna be a new Switch that beats
Oh, for
it up
sure.
and does some interesting things.
for sure.
The
But
new
yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
I think the only reason they
Yeah.
would want to do an XL now is because of all the hacking and shit. Because they have
That's
like
so messed up. What's going on?
because
That's
the
so
thing is
bad.
the issue with the Switch is not actually the Switch itself, but rather it's actually the Tegra NVIDIA graphics card in it, which is the flaw because it's an exploit within that actual graphics card. And the Tegra itself isn't really a strong card. I'm gonna be honest. Like the Switch isn't really the strongest of devices, and I don't think we're gonna see Elder Scrolls. And I really wish it would happen, but I think it's going to be impossible until the next like generation of Nintendo consoles actually. And the reason why is because Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be like beyond anything we've ever seen really before. I think that's what they're going for, and hence why they've been waiting so long, because they kept saying every time people ask them about Elder Scrolls 6. They said specifically like, yeah, we're waiting until we want to innovate. We want this game to be kind of like the evolution, like the things you've never seen before. Like the level of graphics we want to go for is just going to be beyond what we've ever done before. We've been building a new engine and stuff for it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect it on the Switch unless we get like a beefed up Switch, just like the level of like a PlayStation Pro, whatever. I mean, and that's unlikely to happen.
Yeah, I think that game will definitely be like 4K native, like as soon as you play it all. Because I'm pretty sure the next gen systems from Xbox and PlayStation, they'll be able to play.
Yeah, have
4K.
you guys seen the moves that Microsoft? I mean, other with Microsoft, like they've been making some pretty interesting moves, like other than the obvious, like buying the studios. But they confirmed that like the next Xbox will have complete backwards compatibility. So with the Xbox One, so I think that's really cool because like if you didn't buy the Xbox One X or like the PS4 Pro, then you get to play all those games that were 4K on your new system. That's like a good incentive.
If people are looking for value in like buying a console, I think even though I don't buy Xbox or I never play on the Xbox or whatever, I don't even own an Xbox, but I think if you're looking to like, if you don't have much money but you want to play a lot of games, getting the Xbox and getting like the Xbox Pass or whatever the hell it's called, like you can get so many games for like $10. Like what is like 10 years and shit?
Microsoft is making some good moves. Like
you can get so many games for such a cheap price. It's like it's actually it's a steal. It's literally a steal. Like I know that they've actually like it's already come out. They are losing money on the Xbox.
They have so much money they don't even care.
Like, but it's Microsoft obviously. So
yeah, Bill Gates just comes in there.
But at the same time, though, like
it doesn't matter.
People are saying like that like the next generation is going to be the final generation of consoles, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Like because
they're still going to keep it going, definitely.
Because when you look at gaming, right? When you look at it, it's like the things that sell the most games. Like we're not talking like console, whatever. Like the things that sell the most games are the consoles. Like if you play Call of Duty as an example, right? If you play Call of Duty on PC, you'll maybe find on release day you'll maybe have like max 40,000, 50,000 people playing it on PC, right? But on console, you'll have 500,000 people playing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge difference. So
you're just not gonna... PC gaming is just not, like the future because, first of all, computers...
It's expensive.
Obsolete for most people. Like, they have their smartphones, they do their thing. The average person does not care about computers anymore because we have our smartphones to do our thing.
Well, it's the other way around actually, because the PC gaming has been growing more and more and more actually, and that's why people are assuming that that's the path they're going to go.
Yeah, but like among the mainstream, I don't think I can ever see it replacing consoles.
Oh yeah, no, of course, I know what you mean, but like I'm saying, it's becoming more mainstream to have a gaming PC. It's becoming more of a thing. Hence why there's been an increase in like the sales of gaming PCs and websites are selling more peripherals and shit.
Fortnite. The amount of people that play Fortnite on PC now has upped literally sales.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's actually shifted. It's actually shifted the paradigm of like game sales because people are buying less video games because they're just playing Fortnite and buy like, dude, like I was watching this guy talking about specifically people go to GameStop not to buy games there, but to go and buy PlayStation like PSN cards to go and buy some games.
To use them in Fortnite.
Yeah, and the pads as well.
GameStop's gonna die soon. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, it's not gonna die instant. Like, dude, we're giving like I think this game is gonna stay around for as long as Minecraft was around because it's bigger than Minecraft now at this point.
No, we're talking about GameStop.
No, the store.
Oh, GameStop. I thought you were talking about Fortnite. Oh no, GameStop's fucking dead, my dude.
Yeah,
GameStop's dead, my dude.
It's the next Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Oh, but they did say though.
GameStop was mean. Like
Amazon might buy them out though.
Amazon. Oh my god. Ugh.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that because I think that'd be good. But here's the thing, right? No, think about it. Think about it.
They have is so bad though.
But think about it though. Think about it though, because like Amazon has a lot of great shit. Like they have a lot of discounts. They have this whole Twitch thing because they own Twitch, and like I think Twitch has gotten better because of Amazon because they were able to shove a lot of money on it and improve it. And now people like that are streamers on there can make so much more money from the different avenues, right? Like if you're a gaming,
Amazon even owns the network that I'm affiliated with.
Yeah, but like if they own Curse as well, like which I'm with. Yeah. They own. Yeah, that was weird when they sent the contract thing. But like, what I was gonna say though is that specifically, like Amazon, I think if they took over GameStop, we could kind of get rid of all the issues with GameStop because I think that everybody can agree the problem with GameStop is they overcharge for games. And when you want to trade in or you want to sell your games to them, they give you so little in return, and then they sell your game for like 10 times the price. I think and also they keep trying to like sell you these bonuses and all this shit.
Competitive with deals either.
Oh no, definitely not.
Better. Like you can get Amazon Prime and get like 2-day shipping or same day shipping, like with the game if you pre-order it, and you get the 20% discount. And there's always these insane sales on like Amazon and even Best Buy had something going on, but they're canceling that program, which is gonna suck. But that was the Best Buy's program. But anyway, yeah, like there's just way better competition. GameStop just isn't that. Like they're too cheap to ever, give a sale that's really good or, give people actual good money for what they sell.
Yeah, no, I think I've only bought like games from GameStop like 3 times. I've actually bought there, like actually bought a game and not bought like some accessory or whatever, because that's usually what I buy. There's like a gaming shirt or whatever. If I can't find it online, I usually pick it up there, because like usually only when they're cheap, dude. You know what I mean? Like when they can't sell them, so they're like, hey, let's put these for like $2 or whatever. Like, hey, fuck yeah, dude, I'll take a shirt of Mario. Sure. Let's go. But like I think if Amazon picks them up, they could turn that shit around real good, because they made Twitch skyrocket even more, and like people will be able to make so much more money on there now. As a content creator for gaming, I think Twitch is like the #1 place if you want to go for stability and like success as the best possible place, because you have so many avenues to make revenue on and survive on. Like that's perfect for gamers. And I think if they can take GameStop and kind of remove the issues with GameStop, which literally is this whole like ID that like the owner, the CEOs and shit have put into like the workers there is like, hey, you got to make sure to upsell people, like give them these bonus cards, blah 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 blah, like make sure to sell them protection on their games, so like 2-year protection.
Yeah, it's so shady.
It's so to
scam people. And
exactly, like, and like I think they can remove that with Amazon money, because think about it, Amazon is like the biggest company in the world. If they can have Amazon money, my dude, they can make some good changes in there. And I wouldn't mind going to, because the thing with GameStop for me has always been like, it's kind of like this one place you can go to where you're just surrounded by video games, right? It's just kind of this like you hate the place at the same time as you kind of love it, where like it's like, God damn it, dude, so many games.
Like, if like only there were more like just normal games.
I mean, yeah, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I get what you mean.
Welcome to GameStop. What would you like to pre-order?
They always badger you. Like they will like just not stop telling you to pre-order it.
Yeah, but that's especially because they're told. They're told by their
employees. They're not treated very well.
It's
like
crazy.
Have you guys seen those viral videos where like those people talk about how bad it is to work at GameStop?
Oh yeah, Clean Prince Gaming.
Some of the horror stories that you will be hearing. Like,
back in,
oh my gosh.
GameStop was actually my first job. I worked back in 2007. I used to work. You had you kept your job based on commission from selling subscriptions to Game Informer. I thought that was, I mean, I did it with games, but
what the heck?
It was.
It's like a basic minimum wage job too. Like
it really,
that
really
crazy.
So shady.
Yeah, don't they give like the managers like they get the privilege of like going to this game show every year, but the employees are left out of it? Like that's sad too.
From what I understand, very similar to that as well, actually.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
But yeah, besides that, any other big games at E3 that you guys were interested in?
Let me think.
I liked Kingdom Hearts 3, all the stuff that they showed off for that.
Oh god, there's so much of it. It's ridiculous.
Have you played the other Kingdom Hearts games, or is like?
I played them, but I don't remember that much about them because they're so long.
Yeah, same with me. I never beat them. I just played them when I was younger, and then I got them again, and I couldn't get into it. So, but Kingdom Hearts 3 does look really.
People were upset about how that got delayed too, but I'm like, it's not that bad. It's only like a month or so.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not that bad.
It's not like it's Animal Crossing where we just don't know when it's ever gonna come about.
I'm still waiting, man.
Ooh, I have one. Ghost of Tsushima, the PlayStation 4 game, like the samurai game.
That was a cool concept.
That shit looked good.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, that shit looked like real nice. I'm hyped about that. God damn it,
I
what
don't
else
think
was
I
there?
get it. Like, I don't think it's my type of game, but it was really.
I love that sort of stuff as someone who's a fan of like samurai movies. I mean, dude, I am a fan of so many fucking things. I need to kill myself at this point. But like, I'm hyped for that shit, dude. I'm excited. I like it. I like all games except Tetris, but that's just me. But was there anything else? Because I can't really remember.
I feel like there's something that we're forgetting.
I'm looking through my tweets that I made during E3.
Cyberpunk game.
Can we shit on some companies real quick? Because I want to shit on Square Enix real quick. A quick question: what the fuck was the point of Square Enix's like actual presentation?
I didn't watch that because
I didn't watch it. I
just
looked at the
I
highlights.
streamed that shit. It was so bad. I streamed it. They just showed trailers from every other presentation, You know what I mean? Like every
Final Fantasy remake was gone. And...
Well, there was no Final Fantasy, so that was a bit annoying.
I love the memes that came after.
At least we got it in Smash Bros.
Yeah, they were all the memes after were like there's more Cloud in Smash Bros than there was at Square Enix's press conference.
Oh my god, that's depressing.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there was such a lack of things in their like presentation. Oh yeah, also, EA, that was a shit fest. I streamed that whole thing.
Yeah, I watched that.
I think I saw like the first few minutes and then I got bored.
Because like EA's a bad company and they definitely need to improve in a lot of ways, but they have some pretty good franchises like under their belt that unfortunately they own because they bought some companies and stuff. Like The Sims is really good. What was the Skate? Like that's a really good franchise.
That's Activision though, I think. Isn't Skate Activision?
Skate is
No. Skate,
you're thinking of Tony Hawk.
I was thinking Tony Hawk. Yeah, right. Wait, no, are we? Am I? Wait, shit. Let me give me 1 sec. Skate, real quick. Let me find this shit. Yeah, you're right. EA Black Box.
Yeah, so they have that, and there's one more, but I'm drawing a blank. But like EA has some. Oh yeah, Burnout. Oh god, Burnout Paradise is so good. I wish they put it on the Switch.
There was a remaster of that thing, I think.
Yeah, I got it on like the Xbox One, but like having it portably would have been way better.
That can be.
Yeah, dude, so EA has potential. I feel like with some of the IP,
but it was so
too terrible, and they're so shady, and they milk it with like
their
the Star
presentation
Wars thing that happened with the loot boxes. And
let's not even talk about that because I've already had enough Star Wars gripe. As someone who loves Star Wars, who used to love Star Wars more than Pokemon, it was my #1 favorite franchise. I knew everything you could fucking know about that franchise. I knew about it because I was a full-on nerd in that shit. But then you give me Battlefront 1, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of that, fix it in the next game. You give me Battlefront 2, and on top of that, you give me the worst Star Wars movie since Jar Jar Binks was fucking, created. You just give me, like, 2 shit sandwiches on top of each other, and you feed them to me. Like, what happened? And then, the thing is, there is a new Star Wars game that we're going to see next year, released next year as well by Respawn, which makes me a bit excited because I love Respawn because they released good shit in the past.
Oh yeah, Titanfall was actually really good. I tried it. Even though the hype died for that real fast, that was a good game.
They fucking killed it. They killed it because they released it.
Titanfall was amazing.
They released it at the same time. They released it at the same time as Battlefield 1. Dude, they released it at the same time as Battlefield 1 and like Black Ops 3, I think. Like you don't release like another first-person shooter alongside the 2 biggest fucking first-person shooters, at the same time. They should have waited like a few months or just delayed the game and just just let it kind of sit in its own little corner until it was a better time to release it because they released it at the same time as a bunch of other FPS games and then it just ruined the sales on it, which I hated because I enjoyed it way more than Battlefield 1 and Black Ops 3 at the time. I don't know, that shit made me salty as all hell. Actually, no, it was Infinity War at that time, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, I say Infinity War. Infinity War. Infinite War. Infinite War. I don't, dude. I don't fucking know. There's so many COD games. It's stupid at this point. I hate it.
One other thing that was interesting was the Beyond Good and Evil 2. That was pretty interesting.
That looked good.
Yeah.
But why did they show?
Fans create the game though. Like,
but no. That's. I feel like people. You should look more into that because I think people misconstrue that all the time about specifically that game. Because the thing is, there's actual gameplay of that game from last year, like actual game. I'm not talking about whatever the fuck they showed, the tiny amount they showed during the presentation, but like there's actual proper gameplay, and you can actually like think of like you guys remember that? What was the name of that game that was a ripoff? Like they were talking about like it was going to be like millions of planets, but then like it ended up being a shitfest. What's the name of that game?
No
Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. Yeah, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. So basically, think No Man's Sky, but you actually have like proper planets with like full cities and all that shit. That's what the game actually is going to be like if you look at the actual gameplay they showed last year because they had a demo of it. Dude,
and it's definitely
amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
People are sleeping on that game.
But the thing though is the whole submission thing was just going to be like a kind of like a, hey, we know people are going to make fan art for this game and going to make like stuff for the game no matter what. They're going to make like, on DeviantArt and stuff. They're going to make shit for it. So how about we just give some people the opportunity to maybe put some music or some like tiny snippets of like maybe some art, like, some stuff like some like, community stuff. Let them do some of that work. We'll pay them and we'll just put it in the game. Like, because they already have employees like working on this shit, dude. They have like 500 employees in just one of the however many like Ubisoft studios they run. You know what I mean? They
and you know this is gonna be like an Xbox 2, PS5. Game.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So like, but I feel like people like because I don't know. I think they just like showed it off kind of poorly. Because if you look more into it, like I feel like people just need to look more into this shit because like the gameplay in itself, dude. Oh my god, it is so good. It looks so amazing when you look at
this game has the
gameplay.
Potential to be like greatest of all. Really something special.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, for sure. It also made me like the that I think it was the Donkey Kong when they transitioned that made me want another Rayman game. That reminded me of Rayman. I want a 3D Rayman game. Have you guys played any of the Rayman games? Like even like the Rayman.
Oh, when I was a kid, I just can't remember which one it was though.
The Rayman 3D on the 3D because I played those. Oh my gosh, Rayman is so good. Like one of the best in my platformers like ever.
Rayman
and
for Smash.
I want a new game. Yes, please. I want that. I want Rayman and like a second Animal Crossing. I'm good. Yeah.
Rayman for Smash.
Banjo-Kazooie.
After that leak from like
he would look
2015.
so funny because he's limbless, like his little like just legs just extending into the air without any like.
The
so
grab
cool.
would be insane. Like you could just have it wherever.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. I need it for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he's possible too because like they had the trophies of them in the last game, so like they know what's going on.
They still have to like animate and all that though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just look through some of my tweets that I made during E3 and see if there was some game that I talked about.
Yeah. Also, I'm reminded of another really cool IP that EA has, Spore. Have any of you guys played that? That game was so cool.
Not
Underrated.
Which one?
Underrated. Spore.
Oh yeah, shit,
I
I remember
Spore,
that.
Yes, that was the game, like back in like 2008 or something. Like a long
Oh man,
time
that
ago.
shit is old. But I actually remember somebody did like a documentary on that game, like talking about like a video essay talking about like the downfall of it, because
yeah, it's sad. Yeah.
yeah, the sales kind of dropped
too. Like it could have been really something, but that's
but
another
it's
question.
under
They've done some
EA,
cool stuff.
though.
I know. Stupid EA. They have like so much. They have so many good IPs, but like they're such a bad company that they ruin all of them.
Oh, they own so many studios. That's the issue. They own too many studios, and they don't know what the fuck to do with them. So they're like, "Hey, let's just close down half these."
I know.
Ah,
Like,
it's annoying.
dang it. They have some real talent too, like that they could be using. But
Oh, they
no.
definitely do. But they also kind of ruined so many things because, like, I'm looking at Battlefield right now, and I'm still hyped because it looks amazing to me, the new one. And I'm still gonna buy it and play it because it's just one of those franchises I always love playing. But like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, God damn, they feel like it's just. It feels like so many, like they do so many weird things and so many weird mistakes. We're like, hey, let's just follow trends. Hey, is feminism hip right now? Cool, let's just do a bunch of feminism shit. Oh, hey, is battle royales, they're big now? Let's do a battle royale. You know what I mean? I feel like they kind of like dick ride a lot of that shit. It's just, don't do that. Oh my God, who just said Prince of Persia in the chat? Slow. My dude!
Oh,
Yeah, that was me.
Oh my God, man.
Boy.
Dude. But of course, Prince of Persia was, I mean, turned into what we have today, which is Assassin's Creed. But like, I want Prince of Persia because I remember that shit when I was a kid. It was so dark. I remember my mom walking into a room when this naked lady was walking around the game, and I was super awkward. And I was like, don't look. I don't know, dude. I have so many good memories from Prince of Persia. It was such a hard game as well. God damn, dude. God damn. I would love that. I would love a HD remake.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, another game that I think I said I was pretty excited for. Well, it was what was it? Oh yeah, Devil May Cry 5. That looks.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
shit,
a cool
yeah.
announcement. Yeah. For sure.
Looks like
Holy shit! I just remembered. What the fuck? How do I forget about this? Oh my God! What the fuck is it called again? Oh no!
The anime game? Are you talking
Yes!
about that?
my ears.
Yeah.
Oh
are
my
on.
God!
Yeah. Yeah.
My dick is
With
hard.
Frieza, and I think they were showing
Naruto!
the One Piece characters, like all that.
God damn. Oh, I forgot about that shit.
Arrow.
God damn. Oh man, I'm sorry. I just remember that shit because I was dying of fucking hype when I saw that, man. I was so ready. Oh wait, shit. Let's not forget as well. We have. I don't know if you guys know about it, but since I'm a huge fan of The Witcher, I'm hyped up for like whatchamacallit, a Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mentioned that
2077.
earlier.
Oh yeah, you did. I didn't. I guess I must have missed
Yeah,
it. But
the audio cuts out on here.
yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. That shit.
That's
look-
gonna be oh yes. That's actually like my ideal game. Like I've always
I'm
wanted an open world game of the quality that we get from like Skyrim, The Witcher, all that stuff, but like in a futuristic kind of setting. So this is that game. So I'm excited for that.
My body's ready.
All right, so are we good with the other E3 announcements? Should we move on to the next thing? Unless you guys have anything else.
Seems good.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yep.
New Halo. Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, yeah,
I wonder what
Halo.
that'll
Oh
be.
yeah. I love
New Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about that, but the Halo thing is pretty cool.
I used to play both of them competitively, but no.
Because I feel like Halo could be unique by the way that they showcase the trailer. Like, it might be something different from what we're used to. So I hope that it's good. Yeah.
All right. Well, the last few things that we have here is just a bit of additional Nintendo news. The first thing. The first thing was there was GameCube and Game Boy trademarks that were filed recently, and it's interesting because there was also an N64 trademark which was filed in May of this year. So do you guys think that it could mean that there's some sort of retro console that's going to be coming out again this year?
Yes.
Potentially, yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, there's been some weird stuff that they've been doing. I don't know if you guys have been following this, but like with GameCube, they already created a whole emulator in every NVIDIA Shield, I want to say it was, in China, so that they can sell GameCube games for the NVIDIA Shield. Like I think they did Twilight Princess and some other games, GameCube games, and
Well, they
Wii
made the
games
game-
too. And they built a
they
whole
made the
emulator
pad for it
and
as well.
everything to run GameCube games in HD that they haven't even used.
This was by
So
They
Nintendo.
made,
there's something weird going
new
on.
exclusive pads for it for Smash as well. So they were announced as well. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, and maybe that's for Smash Melee. I don't know, but I really hope that we actually get like a good like. What they did with the Wii U, I couldn't believe it. Like, they were so unfair towards the GameCube on the Wii U. Like, they had every system. Like, you had backwards compatibility with the Wii, and yet they still put Wii games on the Virtual Console over the
Yeah.
GameCube. Like, what?
Yeah.
They even did DS games over DS and Game Boy Advance. You could play on your Wii U. You could play the Wii on your game. Every single system. And 64. I mean, they would have done Virtual Boy before the GameCube. I don't know why, but it was unfair. So I hope that GameCube finally gets its recognition in the Switch era, because portable GameCube games, holy crap,
Yes.
that's my
Super
dream.
Mario Sunshine on the go.
Yes, like I need that.
Animal Crossing.
Like, there's a reason why. Yeah, yes. Like, that'd be
Might as
perfect
well
to
just
play
have
like
that
a-
until the Switch game.
I know. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, like there's a reason why my channel is called Game the Cube. Like, I love GameCube so much. I need that to come back. I need F-Zero GX to be on there, because I never got to play it, and I always want, like, that was like the game I would go to GameStop like when I was little and like set aside and think about, okay, should I get this or F-Zero, and I would always choose the other game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've never gotten to play F-Zero, and I want to play that on the GameCube. That was supposed to be a really great game. Like, GameCube had so many weird games that just never, like Chibi Robot or the Custom Robo, whatever that was. So many obscure games that
Yep.
they just didn't do much of afterwards. So I really need that system on there.
So in terms of a retro console, do you think this year we'll get N64 Classic or Game Boy Classic?
I don't know if
Maybe a
we'll
bit
get
of both.
anything this year.
You don't
Like, maybe just NES for this year.
NES again? They restocked the NES like a few days ago. I was able to finally get one.
Oh wait, are you talking about like the mini things?
Yeah. I was talking
Oh, I
like
thought you were talking about Virtual Console.
no.
Yeah,
That's not coming for.
I think an N64 mini could be possible,
I think it's
because I think they
N64.
trademarked it, right?
Yeah.
they did.
And they also did Game
Yeah.
Boy also. So I didn't know if they were gonna do like.
Not the
that'd be
mini
cool.
aspect of it though, but they did trade. You're right. God damn it! I don't know though. I don't think they're gonna do those things now though, because like they've been trademarking every single one of their consoles recently. I don't know if I mean outside of like Wii and Wii U and shit like that, they haven't been trademarking that because that's already trademarked. But like, I think the reason they've been trademarking it is maybe just because their trademarks have run out, because eventually that shit runs out.
Mhm.
So maybe that's just why all of them are getting trademarked now, because all of them are old consoles at this point.
I mean, of course, that's obviously a possibility.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
because there's so many of them. Because I remember when the N64 got trademarked, I was like, okay, something's happening. They could announce at E3 like an N64 Mini or whatever. Like that was hype. But then like GameCube,
I mean, they don't really-
Game Boy, like I don't
I
know.
feel like they just missed out on a
guys-
ton of money though if they didn't do that, because you already see how many
Oh,
people
for
go
sure.
crazy. So I'm sure they'll probably do something.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
A mini GameCube would be the most charming thing in existence. Could you imagine just a little mini cube sitting on your like desk?
That would be adorable.
GameCube
Oh
games
my god.
in HD, that would be charming. Like, that would
Mhm.
that would be something good. So yeah, mini GameCube. Oh yeah, you guys just reminded me too. There was this other bit of information that was very interesting. from I forgot who, but this was like someone like very reliable. Like there was this rumor that basically Nintendo actually has like some pretty major 2018 games left that they just chose not to show just because at this year's E3.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that could be?
I think it's a possibility. Oh, I mean, I don't know what they could be, but I think it's probably going to be revealed in some sort of like September direct or something like that.
Yeah, like they did with Doom, where they announced Doom Switch and then it released it like a month later or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But what could they really do? Well,
Liam Robertson
that
was
would be
saying
crazy.
Liam Robertson was saying that they were going to be not new content, but like kind of remasters, like that we got with like Captain Toad from the Wii U, something like that.
But like, what
so maybe
other
like
Wii U games are
Super
left?
Mario Bros. U, I've heard rumors of that. 3D World.
That shit's kind of lame, though.
3D World, maybe. I guess because it's multiplayer. Because it's like a 3D Mario with multiplayer. 2D.
Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah.
Would
2D Mario, like New Super Mario Bros. I think probably next year. So we'll probably get like New Super Mario Bros. Switch or whatever they'll call it.
Yeah, something like that. But he's saying that like it's gonna be a remaster of some, like we're gonna get a couple too, and I don't know what that could be. Oh man, could you imagine if it was like the Prime trilogy? That would be cool.
I would buy it.
And could you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I just ask something though?
Did you guys hear about Panic Button 2? That they're revealing a new remaster for the Switch or a port of some sort next month? Like, what if they made the Prime trilogy in HD? Because like they have experience, and Nintendo's done this with other companies. Like the company that remastered Twilight Princess before did like the ports of, like the SX and stuff, and they recruited them to do a remaster of Twilight Princess. So if they repeated that, they could do it with this studio who does like shooters, sci-fi kind of shooters like Doom. And Wolfenstein's not really sci-fi, but it's still a shooter of some sort. They could do like a Prime trilogy from them. That would be
hentai. I was gonna ask something in regards to. Actually, no, I want to ask because I'm having one issue with the Switch right now, and that is like I saw this like post saying like, oh, the Switch now has 100+ games. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then when I look at the actual assortment of games, a lot of them are just kind of like either just things that you can buy on another console and cheaper, or it's just like, and I guess like you can argue the whole like, oh, it's a portable experience, so you know.
Yep.
But like at the same time though, it's like, okay,
well, that's natural.
but,
like at the beginning of every console's lifespan, there's just not going to be that much, and then it starts pouring in later. With PS4 and Xbox One, it was port city for like the first like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, definitely.
And then
but it's just like
a ton of new content, and the Switch will probably be the same way.
I think for me, it's more like just the pricing on some shit. Because like for example, I would love to play Wolfenstein, but I'm not paying $60 for a game that's like 20 on the fucking PlayStation or some shit, you know?
Yeah, and that's inferior.
That's a bit like, that's a bit on the steep end, my dudes. Like I can get those games even on PC for even cheaper. Like it's just I feel like a lot of the games that kind of already exist on other consoles are just kind of expensive on the Switch for me personally, where I'm just like not inclined to want to, like, I bought Xenoverse because it's on the Switch specifically, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like this really just huge game with a lot of things to do. But then,
the Fighters port?
The what now?
The Dragon Ball Fighters port?
Oh, that definitely, yeah. That looks shit. But at the same time, though, I have so many fighting games now, you know what I mean? And like then eventually Smash is gonna come, and I'm gonna have like more fighting games than anything else. Like, okay, oh cool, so Street Fighter, okay, Smash, Pokemon. It's just like, what the hell was that?
Who did that?
I think it was Pokemon.
Yeah, it came out of my mic. Sorry.
It's all good, but like I don't know. I feel like we have too many. Like it's gonna. I personally have too many fighting games, and I'm just kind of like, I need some more like FPS games. I need some more like RPGs beyond Legend of Zelda and Xenoverse. Like just give us more stuff. Like it's that's all I'm saying. It doesn't even have to be like a brand new IP. Just give us port over some games from like that exist on other consoles, but don't fucking charge me like too much money for it when it's already cheaper on other platforms. So that's just kind of the issue for me personally. Is like they ask for a lot of money for some of the things they provide. But yeah.
Have you just not played Splatoon, or do you not like it?
I mean, I played it, but it's just kind of like I don't know. It's just kind of like it's like, okay, so as somebody who plays FPS games like a fuck ton, spent 10 years of my life playing Counter-Strike on the fucking PC. You know what I mean? Like when I see that game, I'm like, okay, cool. This is like to me feels a bit too childish. and just not fun to me. Plus, also, it's the whole Joy-Con feeling to it. It's just, I don't know, it feels awkward to me when playing it. So
oh, you don't have a Pro controller?
I do, but like I don't really plug it in too much because I kind of just play it on handheld mostly. Hence why I love the whole hand. Like that's what I love about the Switch though, is like the handheld aspect of it. But I'm just like sometimes I'm sitting and I'm like, dude, I don't want to play more fighting games. I don't want to play more of this. I want to play something else that I can play on the PC. Like give me a reason to like not sit by my computer today and just lay down in my bed and just chill all day and just watch it, turn on the TV, put on some fucking shit and just sit and game on the Switch. Like that, I want that feeling, but I don't get that enough with the console. I feel like it just lacks some like those extra games, you know what I mean? It just lacks that extra thing for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but Splatoon. I guess. I mean, wait, didn't Splatoon have a new expansion that was released now?
And it's brutally hard. It's insane.
Well, fair enough.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
Maybe I should check that shit out.
It's like very hard. It's so hard that like, I mean, some people might say it's easy, but obviously like it's really hard because some of the things like they make you do, like if you can't even get through the level, they make it so that after 4 attempts, you're just allowed to pretend like you did the level. So you already know if they can have that option, they can do as much as you want. But like they have all these options where it's like you're not allowed to refill your ink and you have to get through the whole level with using only like 25% of ink. And as soon as you run out, you blow up and die.
Lovely.
So yeah, some of them are really hard. And then there was like one where you had to survive for like 40 seconds and they just like the enemies kept shooting at you and you had to like not take any damage. You take one bit of damage, you blow up, you have to restart again.
I think I remember now what like my issue is because I decided to like check out because PlayStation was having a sale, so I checked out like the games that they had sale on, and I was like, dude, I want to just buy a bunch of games. And I just want to sit down and game because I feel like I was just tired of playing like multiplayer on PC, just like PUBG and like Fortnite. I was like, dude, I don't want to play this shit anymore. I want to play an actual game with a story. So I bought Metro. I don't know if you guys know the Metro games. Like, I bought Metro last night, and I played through that shit on the PlayStation 4, and I was like, dude, imagine if I could play this, but on the Switch. I guess just, I don't know, I just want more games that exist on the platforms on the Switch, but, like, not charging me $60 for a port, is all I'm saying. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do the viewer question thing now?
Well, there's 2 more things here that I want to talk about. The first one was we now have a new Nintendo president, so even Mr. Kimishima, who was like the guy before, like the guy who came after Mr. Iwata passed away. So he's now stepping down. We have a new guy. I'm not sure how you say his name. I think it's like Shintaro Furukawa. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can just talk a little bit about like how do you guys feel about what Kimishima did, because he pretty much had to set off the entire launch of a brand new system. So I think it was
I don't know
good.
how much was like Kimishima, how much was Iwata, because Iwata really laid the seeds.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they were planning it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, they planned things in crazy advance. So I don't know how much Kimishima actually did, but he did a good job maintaining the company for sure. Like while they did this transition. So,
I'm sure he was behind all the marketing and everything, like the ads and all that.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a great job. I mean, it's the fastest selling video game system of all time. So
yeah,
not bad. Pretty good.
Yeah. I just hope this new guy is going to be able to keep up the momentum.
For sure. I don't like what he said recently.
What did he
say?
Did
you see what he said about the... He said that Nintendo's now considering multiple ideas for a 3DS successor.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
That's not his thing, though, because that's a thing they already said in the past as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like PR
Yeah, but
speech,
for sure, that's not a good way to start it out with.
Yeah.
That's just PR talk, I think.
Yeah, it really is. But they better not do that, because...
They will, though.
We already have... There's no point.
But here's the thing. The thing is, I feel like a lot of people miss a lot of things that they say. But they specifically pointed this out when the Switch was released. They said specifically, the Switch is the main, like, home console. That's what it is. And we're not dropping the exclusive handhelds. Mm-hmm. Because we still want to do handhelds. They specifically said that. Because but the thing is, I mean, yeah, you could argue, like, yeah, you should probably just drop it and just focus on the Switch. But here's the thing, though, is, like, that wouldn't benefit them as much. Because they can just make more. Because the thing is, the 3DS
would though, because it would allow them to put more games out on one platform and make it sell more. And I think the Switch was like proof of this with how many units it sold within the first year, because they were able to focus on just that instead of 2 platforms, which I think hinders both. Like you saw, I think that's one of the reasons why the Wii U failed, because they had to focus on the 3DS, and they gave 3DS a lot of good stuff that Wii U just didn't get. And
They said the reason they want to keep the 3DS alive right now is because they feel like it's an option for people who don't have a ton of money because the Switch is pretty expensive.
Yeah,
and you can get a 3DS now. You can get a 3DS and like a bunch of games. Like you can get a 3DS and like 4 games for like 120
Even
bucks.
the 2DS as well.
And it's not like any of these 3DS games are like, oh my gosh, I really want that on the Switch. Like it's like a Luigi's Mansion port. Like who cares? And a Mario Luigi thing. Like I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's just remakes. It's not affecting new games.
But the reason though is like they will just make more money if they keep making eventually another version of the DS quote unquote. Like they will keep doing that because it's just a part of their kind of business model.
We'll see. I don't know.
No, but they will because
their third party support is just so choppy.
I mean, it depends though.
Output
because like one of the biggest reasons that DSs are so successful is because of Pokemon, and we already know that they're going to be on the Switch now.
Yeah, but that's we're talking about like
other options now with mobile and amiibo and like theme parks. They're branching out more to where I don't think that it would hurt too much if they just had the Switch, like just had a home console handheld hybrid.
The thing though is, we don't know what will come after the Switch. You know what I mean? Because
they said they want it to last like 10 years too. But
well, here's the thing, right? Because like once the Switch runs its cycle, which is give or take 5 years, a 5-year cycle, I would say, is before it kind of runs its its course, and people will be like, okay, yeah, well, cool, we know the Switch now, we've had it for a long time, it's time for something new. You know what I mean? Eventually that time will come. But what I want to specifically about that is like, what do they do after that? Because the problem with the Switch is that it's weak. It's really weak, and you cannot do the portability plus like the
power,
the portability plus the power. Exactly, you can't do those things at the same time. You can't. It's impossible.
Well, as technology progresses, it can get better, and they can use
for sure. But that would be. But the thing is, even though technology gets better and better, like 5 years is not enough time, if I'm going to be honest, for that jump to happen. Where you're going to be able to run like PC graphics levels on this, on a Switch successor.
But I don't think you necessarily need that
handheld.
At this point. Like,
because Nintendo specifically doesn't care about that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
system selling because of Pokemon and Zelda.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because of Skyrim Switch or something.
No, I know, but the thing though is that oh my god, my microphone just messed up. No, but the thing is, that was the issue with like the Wii U. I feel like is that the lack of actual third party and stuff. Like what I mean,
and the lack of the first party, which was partly due to
but there was what I mean. But think about it. Think about this, right? Like for like a friend of mine who doesn't give a shit about Nintendo in terms of like Mario or any stuff. Like, he knows about it, but he doesn't give a shit about it. But he loves playing sports games. You know what I mean? He loves NBA. He loves FIFA and shit. Like, you know what I mean? For him with the Wii U, there was no reason for him to buy the Wii U because he could just go buy a PlayStation or an Xbox and play those games on there. You know what I mean? Even on PC, you can buy it on there. You know what I mean? But the Nintendo products never had those third party. They never had those third party games for the normies. You know what I mean? But now they kind of do. But it's still kind of way less than than the other consoles. You know what I mean? Now you have FIFA on it. And I think that shit's cool. I bought FIFA because it was cheap. And I was like, hey, I like football, so why wouldn't I want this? I think they've got NBA on there as well.
Yeah, I got that.
You know what I mean? Like, you need more of those things for a console to survive because you can't just – because here's the thing, right? That's why the Wii U didn't survive. Like, it sold a bunch of copies of like a bunch of Wii U's were sold and a bunch of copies of Smash was sold. Smash 4 was sold when that shit came out. You know what I mean? But that's not enough to keep a console and a company alive for long-term, for the long term. Like, you can't just rely on your hardcore fan base. You have to rely on the normies. Hence why we're getting like shit like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, right? That's supposed to be a way to bring in the normal casuals from Pokemon Go and stuff into buying the Switch and then becoming in like kind of a part of the ecosystem of the people or the rest of us who are playing the main console games on the Switch and not just playing Pokemon Go. So what I'm trying to get across is they definitely need those third-party titles, and if they want to be able to handle those third-party titles, they have to beef up their consoles, and hence why I'm saying that the next console we get could potentially be a home console standalone, and then maybe they could do some shit where they're like, hey, guess what, if you want to, we also have this new handheld, and you can connect the two, and you can send over your games from your whatever over to your handheld, and you can play them. I mean, they could pull some shit like that off, you know what I mean? They're fucking Nintendo. They always try to do weird dumb shit and new shit. So hey, I don't know, man. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I think they specifically said the PlayStation 5, they're like, or Sony's looking into like doing some sort of like interconnection between like, you know, having a handheld and a console.
That needs to become standard, honestly.
I feel like
I mean, I hope it does. I would love it, but it's also the, you know, the problem comes in of hardware capabilities, right? Where PlayStation and Xbox, or rather Sony and Microsoft, are always aiming to push, you know, their shit to be able to run higher and higher graphics and shit. You know what I mean? And the people who develop for those consoles, they love that. But the problem with Nintendo is they don't offer that. You know what I mean? They offer good first-party titles, but not enough third-party titles, and that's an issue for the grand scale of, you know, everybody else who buys their consoles and stuff. You need to also offer them that third-party shit for them to have a reason to buy your console, is what I'm trying to get across. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet now. I talk too much.
Did you guys see there was like a trademark that PlayStation filed like recently that it looked basically just like a Nintendo Switch?
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can put it on screen.
I thought that was a while ago, though.
Yeah, it was like a few months ago, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just seemed pretty interesting.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, they're doing it. I don't know.
The PlayStation Switch.
It's like what they did with the motion controls and the Wii.
Yeah, like copy it though. It's like a good idea. Like, why not copy the portable idea? It's just a great thing. Like, there are so many games where like I just don't like being tied to the TV on. It's weird. So like having a portable, just make it better.
Yeah, just having the option is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna see here for the last thing that I wanted to talk about. It's probably something that Gabe is probably the most happy about, which is IGN got to have an interview with Reggie, and they were talking about like games, and Reggie specifically said that after Nintendo's E3, he saw like a lot of memes online about like sad Animal Crossing fans that nothing was announced, and he says that Nintendo is aware of how many people want Animal Crossing as well as Mother 3. So, I mean, what do you guys think that he means by that? I obviously think Animal Crossing, without a doubt, is coming. But like for Mother 3,
it's definitely coming.
Yeah, Mother 3 though, I don't know.
When he put Animal Crossing and Mother 3 in the same category, that's how I knew Animal Crossing was dead. Like, it's to the point that it's actually comparable to Mother 3. That is so messed up. But I don't know. It's just a matter of when it's gonna be announced, not really if, because they always, you know, like it's so successful they can't just stop making games for it. But it's weird because we've never had to wait this long for an Animal Crossing game, and so it's different than anything else that's happened before.
How long has it been? Like 6 years or something like that?
Yeah, 6 years in Japan, 5 years in America. So by next year, it'll be 7 years in Japan, 6 years from America. Like, you know, presumably if it were to come out then at the earliest. So, and it's never been that long, so it feels very strange.
And then for Mother 3, I'm pretty sure that's just like him saying it because he always says the same thing.
Yeah, they'll eventually do it. Like if Ridley happened, like eventually the fans just annoy them so much they're just like, here, fine.
Yeah, because he said like when I showed up to E3, Reggie was like, there was so many fans who were greeting me and saying like, hey Reggie, what's up? And then he was like, there were other fans who were like, where's Mother 3? So
yeah, it's gonna happen. Nintendo, like they're stubborn sometimes, but at the end of the day, they usually do listen to their fans, like, and what they want. Like they made that big open world Zelda that we've been craving. They made that big 3D Mario sandbox game that we've been asking for.
I mean, every
they
direct
put
last
Ridley
year.
in Smash.
Yeah, every direct last year, the chat was just smash, smash, smash. Like, and now that's
so they gave us Smash fairly early on with a CGI trailer just to say, hey, it's coming. You guys can chill now. So, yeah, I think Mother 3 will eventually happen. And Animal Crossing, the fate of Animal Crossing is actually a little weird because we did have like a lot of the creative minds behind Animal Crossing working on Nintendo Labo. So Nintendo Labo could have taken up some time. The Animal Crossing team is working on Splatoon, so they might have been focused on making Splatoon and Splatoon 2.
They did that
and
whole
DLC
entire
and all of
DLC
that.
also.
Yeah, and we don't really know what the Animal Crossing team specifically is. Like, it's kind of weird. Like some of the development teams just don't have names. They just make stuff. So we don't know if they could be working on Animal Crossing on the side if they have like enough people to do that. But we really don't know. Like they could have been working on Splatoon, Labo, and like this mobile game the entire time, and they might not have even started Animal Crossing Switch. So we might have to wait a very long time. Like we might have to wait till 2021 or something ridiculous. We really don't know at this point. So that's why it would be nice to at least get some kind of confirmation, or at least say like it's gonna happen.
He basically did that. He said it's not an if. He said it's a when, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like just give a logo, and I don't know. It's complicated because if they were to give a logo and not a release date, then we would get mad too, because it would just disappear for a while until it's ready, and it could not, be ready.
Just like the retro game that still no one knows about.
Yeah, and New Leaf did the exact same thing, and fans got really mad at them for it. They announced it at E3 2010, and then they just stopped talking about it, and then it resurfaced in a very brief trailer that wasn't in their presentation in 2011. Then it disappeared for a year again, and it wasn't even at E3 that year. And then like later on, they finally gave a release date for Japan, and then it released a year later. So we had to wait 3 years from the announcement, and that was pretty rough. So maybe they don't want to repeat
Put a picture of that like PlayStation and Switch mock-up if you guys didn't see that patent. But yeah, I put it on screen.
Huh.
It's funny how it looks literally just like the Switch.
Oh boy, that is.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, the PlayStation Switch.
It's got the X, triangle, circle buttons,
Well,
everything.
You know what?
It'll look different though in the final product. Like,
I'm sure they'll change it.
I'll take it.
You guys saw how pretty that Vita was. I think that it's a little good too.
About the Vita, actually, it's now become like probably the best console possible to buy, because if you manage to hack it, you can play everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
everything on that thing, dude. It is like the emulators, like it's a hacker's dream, because if you can hack that thing, you can play everything on it. It's insane. So hey,
when you buy a Vita to play Game Boy games.
Dude, I would actually kind of want to do that. I mean, this looks okay. In all honesty, this looks like I don't know.
It's why you have to play Persona 4 Golden.
Oh yeah, definitely. But oh yeah, there's also isn't there also like a Metal Gear game that's like exclusive to it?
I think it's just a remake of.
Is it?
One game. I think I don't know.
But this looks good though. I mean, it looks like a Switch, but
yeah.
But they're probably gonna redesign it and make it more interesting and stuff, and like sleek, because
I don't
that's
know
like
about the joystick placements there. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
it looks a bit odd. I mean,
oh my god, I think I know what they could kind of do. They're probably gonna do some gimmick where you can kind of like tilt the screen. You know what I mean? Like, so basically, like the controllers can be like you can tilt. You know what I mean? Like you can tilt the controllers so like you can have them in any position you want to, and the screen doesn't have to be like flat, but rather it can be like tilted a bit backwards and a bit forward or whatever. Probably do some like some gimmicky shit just
like
to make sure, like yeah, basically like something with the the little screen or whatever. They're probably gonna make it slightly different. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited about this. I mean, if they can make a better dock than Nintendo, I am so up for it, because the dock sucks ass. This thing is so fragile. It's like stupid. I don't know. I'm digging the dock on the Switch for sure.
Yeah, I don't even hate the dock. I just hate the fact that it scratches the screen.
Well, that too.
Yeah. But I put a screen protector on my Switch since the first day. But. All right. Well, yeah. I guess besides that, then we can just look at a few viewer questions and answer those, and then we can probably wrap it up.
Let's see.
See if you guys see any.
When do you think Gen 8 will be revealed?
February. February.
January, February next year.
Yeah, because January would be too early though, because they want to give some time for Let's Go to keep selling. You know what I mean? Because
they did it with X and Y.
X and Y was.
Yeah, right away.
The thing with X and Y though was
so good.
But the thing though is you're missing. I was specifically saying they want to give breathing room to Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee to sell more, and then they'll do it somewhere in like March, February, because X and Y didn't didn't get revealed. Whatchamacallit, like really close to to another game release, so to say, is what I'm trying to get across.
Well, yeah, there's Black and White too, but like it came out even earlier. I guess that's
Black and White 2 was what, like September in November in America or whatever, and then it was like August or like
even earlier. Yeah, so there was enough time, there was enough breathing room for the game to sell enough, and then they could be like, hey, guess what, here's a new thing. So I wouldn't expect like until, I mean, late February or like, mid-March is what I'm hoping for it to be revealed. If earlier, then fuck yeah, I'm on for it. But I don't think it's gonna happen until that time.
Yeah, I hope we don't go through a drought because Game Freak can really wait if they want to. They don't.
Oh boy.
It'll definitely be
don't
within,
even talk about it.
It'll definitely be by May of next year.
Not May,
It's
March.
this one.
That's what I'm
Very
expecting.
But I
end
think
of
just
May.
because
Very
of May at the latest, I'm saying. But obviously because of how it's a new gen, it'll definitely be revealed pretty early.
Because they need to improve, like they need to kind of expand the promotional kind of time for it, I
Yeah.
would assume. Because we know it's coming, I mean, we know it's happening. We're just now waiting for things to kind of like slowly, one by one, be revealed. With like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, they kind of like threw everything at us at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here's a full game today, Pokemon Quest, and in November you'll get this, and in 2019, the second half you'll get a Pokemon Generation 8 game. It's like, oh shit, well that's a lot of things in one go. Cool. So I mean, next year probably a direct or something, or maybe who knows? They could just pull something out of their ass and be like, hey, here's just a random trailer, because why not?
They could do what they did with, if Nintendo feels like this is going to be as big as Smash, which it obviously is, it's going to be even bigger. They could do what they did with Smash this year and just have it at the end of a direct early next year.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
2019
Like they
has
just
so
say
much
like there's
potential.
one more surprise left, and they go into a Gen 8 reveal.
That would be
Yeah.
lit, dude.
It'd be crazy.
I would be like 2019 has so much potential. I don't want to jinx it, but like we could go into 2019, get Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Yoshi, Pokemon Gen 8.
Oh, there's so
Animal
many cool
Crossing.
shit.
I honestly kind of had the feeling now that Metroid is going to be delayed till 2020.
I guess we'll see.
I think next year we'll get Bayonetta, but not Metroid. That's just
Yeah,
like,
because they were saying that like they wanted it to actually be ready.
that's
If
just-
it is delayed though, I think it's good because it just gives them more time to make a better product, honestly.
yeah, and it's not like the Switch won't have anything next year. Gen 8 is already perfectly fine.
Yo,
Yeah.
next year is gonna be so much more hype though, because this
Oh,
year,
yeah.
okay, cool, we got
Proper.
Smash and shit,
Mhm.
but like next year is like you've got Fire Emblem, like we know it's coming. We've got Fire Emblem, we know there's a brand new Pokemon, new generation and everything, so it's way more hype for me than Let's Go.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe Bayonetta will be coming next year.
We could even get Smash DLC. Like it could be a really fun. game.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting year because honestly, this year so far has been kind of lame. So far.
Yeah, it absolutely has.
Yeah, I agree.
been.
I mean, it's not like
There's a pattern with game companies. I don't know if you guys have noticed. With the third year is always like so good. With every platform, for some reason, the third year, I guess it's just because of development cycles, it's always so good. Like with the 3DS, the third year of the 3DS, we got X and Y, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Fire Emblem Awakening, Yoshi, and we got so much that year. We were blessed. So like, I'm thinking it's gonna be like that next year because it's the third year of the Switch. That's when development typically wraps up. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Someone said in the chat, Skinny Snubble says, when do you guys think they'll reveal Pokemon number 808 that we received from Pokemon Go?
I think they might let us just find it in the game. I don't know.
I feel like we'll know about that Pokemon like before the
They'll
games are
probably
even
make it.
out, just because of someone who's
Yeah.
gonna get it early and data mine it or whatever.
Yeah, someone's gonna get it early, stream it,
Oh,
leak
yeah.
everything, put it
Yeah.
on the forums.
I mean,
have
that's
it
just-
every year.
Shiny
It's a new
form.
tradition.
If it has a
It's
shiny.
happened for every big game, so there's no way it's not gonna happen this time.
Yeah.
And that's gonna
Oh my
suck
gosh!
because
remember when
next year.
Smash 4 got leaked?
Oh yeah. The ESRB leak. That was crazy.
Yes. Didn't Etika like do an all-night stream too, where he was like showcasing?
Well, that
like,
wasn't to the
what's
leaks.
going
That was
on.
when someone got the game early. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were all like watching it. That was hilarious.
Oh man, I'm so worried though about like potentially people ruining Gen 8
Yeah,
next
like
year.
the thing that I
They
hated about
will.
the what was it, Gen 7, when people got Pokemon Sun and Moon early by downloading it illegally onto their consoles. That was terrible.
I played Ultra Sun and Moon early, dude. Because like, dude, my viewers were sending me like, "Hey, dude, you want to play? Ultra Sun and Moon?" It was a week ahead of time. I was like, "What?" He's like, "Hey, yeah, here's the game." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a hacked 3DS. I wasn't able to do that. I hacked my 3DS after it came out because I needed it to be able to stream 3DS games. But yeah, I mean, if I got it early too, I wouldn't have been able to play online because my account would have gotten banned.
Good times.
Yeah, but like the thing about that is like even if someone doesn't like leak the game by like dumping it, because I don't think that'll be. It would suck if like right when Gen 8's about to come out, they have like the potential to be able to dump games on the Switch like completely and download them and play them illegally as well.
Oh, they will.
They
will.
Oh,
they will.
But like, I think
Well,
either way, it'll be like with X and Y, where someone's just gonna get the game early, find like a whole bunch of new Pokemon and stuff, and start posting screenshots on 4chan.
Remember when they data mined the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire demo? That was so disappointing. That's how we found out there wasn't going to be a batch here. There's no data for it there.
Yeah.
That was heartbreak central.
And then they said that all the Mega Evolutions that were already shown off in the trailers were the ones that were coming. There's no secret ones in the game.
Yeah.
Let's just pray that they don't give out review copies, or that they don't fucking put out a demo, because as long as they don't do any of those mistakes, we won't be seeing any leaks until the games are released. And the thing is, once it's released, then it's like anybody's fucking it. It's a free for all at that point. So like, just stay away from 4chan and you'll be fine.
Turn off your phone, get that game, and just enjoy it. Like.
I also really want them
just download and play.
I also really want them to take the same approach that they did with X and Y with Gen 8 next year, which is like only have a few trailers like with what they did with X and Y. Because with Sun and Moon, I hated how they revealed pretty much every brand new Pokemon, and there was like barely any secrets left.
Yeah, I need some surprises.
Like I loved how with X and Y you didn't know what the final evolutions from the starter Pokemon were, unless you like looked at the leaks, of course.
Yeah, but that's going to be the more fun part about these games, hopefully, because they said a bunch of new Pokemon, so I'm hoping 100 plus at least.
Same here.
At least 100. Yeah. Okay, 100 at least, and we're not talking like Alola forms and shit, just like brand new Pokemon. 100
original designs, please.
Exactly, and I think they will do that because this the first like proper new generation.
Hopefully no rip-offs as well.
Since their move like to the Switch, so I'm assuming we're gonna see a bunch of new Pokemon, and I'm hoping we get some fun like things happening along the way where like one or two maybe leaks or some shit whatever.
Just to keep,
just keep the spirit up, but like not like not just all of a sudden like, hey, guess what? Here's the whole Pokedex. Because the only reason we got the whole Pokedex with Sun and Moon was because they put out the fucking demo, and people just like just data mine that shit.
And why did they keep the pictures in? That's what I didn't understand about that.
Oh my God.
Like it was online. Like if we just knew the names of the Pokemon, for some of them we probably wouldn't have been able to tell what they are. But like when they had the pictures, like it was so dumb. I was like, you scrubbed everything. The stats, they were scrubbed. The numbers were scrubbed. Like all the data was scrubbed, but they kept the images in for the Pokemon. Like I don't understand why.
It's ridiculous, right? Someone else in the chats named Feels Bad Bro 13 says, when do you guys think Gen 4 remakes will come out?
2020 or 2021?
Yeah, I think 2020. I think 21. I think they're going to want to break after all these consecutive games. We've literally gotten Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Let's Go, and we're getting Gen 8 without any breaks. I think they're going to want to break.
I think we're going to get it in actually 2020. Really? I think it will happen.
I mean, it's possible.
Like, I don't think they will take a break because they want to probably keep steamrolling through this shit, what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it's possible because with
remix, then that's when they have a break.
Yeah, because with Gen 8, they're already going to have the whole engine, and they already know what to do because it's Gen 4 again. They just have to recreate all the cities and everything. It's
going to be like an X and Y and then ORAS situation, you know what I mean? They're just going to like use the exact same kind of quote-unquote assets, I guess, as they did with the same way they did X and Y and then ORAS. They're going to do the same thing
ORAS
here.
Barely even felt like when it just felt like X and Y reskinned. It was weird.
Dude, I personally loved ORAS. I mean, people hate that shit, but I was all good on it.
I did a poll. I did a poll where I asked people what their favorite game, what their favorite Pokemon game on the 3DS was, and ORAS won that.
Yeah, because Hoenn is one of people's favorite regions.
Crash. I don't know. Hoenn is my favorite region, but I feel like ORAS just butchered it. I don't know.
I was okay with it. I didn't hate it. I actually liked it a lot. But I guess it's one of those, you can argue about it and be like, hey, it's everybody's opinion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much yelling in my background. Holy shit.
I don't think there's any more questions.
If they did like Let's Go with Let's Go Sinnoh instead of a regular make.
Oh my god.
I have a question.
Best way to troll people.
Because the chat didn't ask, but do you guys think we'll see a new mystery dungeon game anytime soon?
I think that's what they could do in their break year between Gen 8 and Diamond and Pearl.
We'll see. But
I wish we would get
love
more spin-offs in general. Like,
Yo,
I feel like we don't get
Battle Revolution, my dudes.
I literally was tweeting about this a few days ago because there was like one of those tweets where it was like Battle Revolution came out like 7 years ago on this day or something like that, and I was talking about that, and I was like, this game had the best announcer, and we're never gonna have that in a Pokemon game ever again.
Yeah, the announcer.
But honestly,
was
like
awesome.
having a game like that, or just like even a game where you can just like simulate battles, kind of like Pokemon Showdown Online, would be so useful to have.
Yeah,
For sure.
Because Pokemon's one of
even a
those few
Coliseum,
games.
even a Coliseum sequel, like Coliseum XD sequel. The storyline in that was really interesting. I think they could do more with it.
Yeah, because Pokemon is one of those few games where like you're forced to make the Pokemon that you're gonna use in battle too. Like
Yeah.
So you got to go through that
Even
whole
little
grind
things.
of making
I like.
everything.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I love Pokemon Channel. Like that would be an awesome little like $5 thing you buy on the Switch store, like a new one. I'd love that.
No, the best thing was My Pokemon Ranch.
I love that one
Remember that?
too.
There was a way to get Mew in that. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure too.
Yeah, that was the game.
Pokemon Ranger.
I'm still waiting on
Pokemon Ranger,
Snap
yeah,
and
sure.
Pokemon Puzzle League to come out with up HD version. I love Pokemon Puzzle League so much. I poured way too much time into that.
Pokemon Ranger.
They could do some sort
There's
of
like
like
a pretty
puzzle
good
game,
backlog of
like
games.
Rumble.
Do you
or
reckon
something.
they'll update the trading card game?
Snap.
Because loads of fans still like playing the trading card, and then I don't know if they're gonna update maybe to make an actual game.
Like an amiibo card game.
Yeah, potentially.
Be cool.
Loads of money in that. Yes.
Someone was asking, do you think Gen 4 remakes will outsell Gen 8?
Potentially.
No.
I think they could.
No, I think Gen
No.
8 will sell more.
You know
Yeah,
why
I
though?
think so.
Because here's the thing though. Gen 4, I think actually let me look it up because I think they
think it's
are
the
the
second
second best selling part after Gen 1.
No, I thought Gen 2 was the second best selling, and then.
Well,
Gen
let me look
4.
into it real quick.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm talking like individual
It's definitely
basis,
one
not
of
like
the best. But
Pokemon game sales. Let's see. We're going to find this, my boats. Okay, so, okay, so red, blue, green, all those combined sold 31 million essentially.
Yeah.
Gold, silver sold, gold and silver by themselves. We're not counting crystal here. Sold 23 million.
So second. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let me see. So Ruby Sapphire sold 16. Diamond and Pearl sold 17.67. So they are the best selling if we don't count the first two gens. Yeah, third. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also, I mean, then again, also they also have then Platinum, which sold 7.6. And this was at the same time where those sales were also rivaled by Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which sold like on their own 12.7 million. So they're good selling games, and I think specifically in Japan, there was like this poll, and like they're all just like all about seeing Gen 4 remakes. Like they that's the thing that they want the most. They don't give a fuck about anything else. They just want to see Gen 4 remakes, which I was like, okay, well shit, that's a weird response, but hey, it's pretty good.
Someone's saying Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is on track to outsell Platinum in only 5 months. That hurts so much. That's wrong.
Ultra Sun and Moon is amazing if you've never played Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're what they weigh like 90,000 sales? No, 9,000 sales. Am I counting this wrong? They're not too far away from outselling though.
The world is over. Okay. Someone else asked, do you see Nintendo Land ever returning with the Switch release? You said syncing various Switches for Super Mario Party sparked his interest in it happening. I don't think so.
Yeah, Nintendo Land, I feel like it worked a lot with the Wii U because of the gamepad, so they could have so many gimmicks with that. And I feel like that's kind of what 1-2 Switch was supposed to be like, but they can't really do a lot.
And it just never caught on, so.
Yeah.
But I think it should be referenced as a I don't even know, as like a like a memorial kind of thing, a legacy thing. And
someone's asking, do you guys think Gen 9 will have? My man's talking about Gen 9 Breath of the Wild.
Gen 9.
I just saw the chat and it said Gen 9.
I don't. Maybe it was a typo. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're right next to each other. The keys.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if
Gen
he
8,
was
9.
talking about Gen 9, but
I think earlier he asked if Gen 8 will have it, so maybe.
Yeah, I still don't think Pokemon will be like Breath of the Wild open world. Just unfortunately, because of the team that Game Freak has, it's just they're so.
I think.
Well, eventually they could.
If they get more people, yeah.
Well,
We'll see. They could
mentioned earlier, they do.
I think anything's possible. So.
I think right now they probably don't want to because they already said in their interview from last year that like, we do not want to go into that. Essentially,
now they're saying they're going to make this game for the fans, and the fans have been begging. So you don't know.
Like, I mean, I think what these games will be next year is going to be just kind of like a bit more open-ish. No, open world. No, big no, but open more. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to maybe be as constricted to the gameplay as we've been in the past. We're like, hey, guess what? You can't go that way. Fuck you. Go this way. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there'll be more options where, like, hey, if I want to go, you know, I have 2 options, 2 paths or 3 paths. You know what I mean? Instead of just following one way specifically.
I like that, but the one thing that I also would love is I don't want them to tell you specifically like you're not ready for this area. I would like much rather have you like figure that out for yourself. I think that would be really
exactly.
Cool. Like it would be so sick if like you were going through like I think it would be really cool if in the Kanto games, like let's just pretend if it was Kanto for example, where like you were going I don't know, you're just exploring through Cerulean City, you get Surf or whatever, and instead of that guy blocking the cave to get Mewtwo, it's just open, and you run in there and find like level 70 wild Pokemon, and you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I would much rather have something like that, like an experience where you figure it out and you're like, okay, I'm not supposed to be here. That's exactly what they do in Breath of the Wild.
But wouldn't that's true as well, yeah. But I think it would be pretty fun if they kind of had like scaling, where like maybe like the trainer level would be a really like so you as a player would have a level and your team will kind of like scale itself. If you're in an area that you're not supposed to be in, you will kind of like scale against that area, you know what I mean? When the Pokemon will kind of scale based on what you're doing. So basically, like, I always wanted the ability of, like, you know, kind of choosing where I want to go and take on a gym, you know what I mean? Like, the thing with Pokemon is, like, you know, you're kind of constricted. It's kind of constricted in the sense of where, like, you got to go where they tell you to do it. But I always been of this, like, thought of, like, why wouldn't I just want to be able to just go to whatever gym I want to?
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, because, like, if you think of the anime, in the anime, it's already been proven by the anime that there are more gyms than just 8 gyms in each region. You know what I mean? There is definitely more. And there's definitely more to take on. So I would love the ability of just going wherever the fuck I want and just choosing which gym I want to take on. But that's never going to happen. So
yeah, I would love that.
Just,
like, if they, like, scaled them, like, if once again, if you're using, like, Kanto as an example, like, if you challenge Brock as your first gym leader, he sends out a Geodude and an Onix. But then if you challenge him as your last gym leader, he sends out, like, a Steelix and a Golem. And a Rhydon and all this. Yeah.
Make a Steelix.
It would be so cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Someone said, do you think Splatoon anime should exist?
I don't think so.
That would be funny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The battle of the paint.
Do you think Let's Go should be priced at $39.99 or $59.99? It's definitely I think
$39.99.
I think $59.99 makes
option.
sense.
No, I think it's worth the $60.
Yeah, it's worth 60. I mean,
I don't think it's worth it.
It's still a whole region. You're still getting a whole story in it and everything. If you've never played through
but
the game,
it's at the same time though it lacks a lot of features, which is for me personally.
Which it doesn't matter to casual people.
So do you reckon that do you guys reckon that when Gen 8 comes out, it's going to be roughly the same price as well then, just because it's a Switch game? Or
Obviously.
Yeah.
They want the more money, boss. More Mula.
People are hating.
I found a quillfish.
I honestly want to know what they're gonna call Gen 8. Like, what are the 2 things they're gonna compare? I feel like they run out of ideas.
Oh, that's a really good question. God damn, what are they gonna call those?
What could they call it? Like
Pokemon Past, Pokemon Future.
They just take my April Fool's joke.
Memes.
Yeah.
I just get an email. Sorry, Game Freak has trademarked your name.
Yo, I just remembered something. Holy shit, yo! Thank you for reminding me because oh my god. So hear me out on this, right? What's the name of that freaking that Pokemon that in the Sun and Moon anime, like that the Team Rocket catches and like it attached itself to what's his name on James's head? No, on James's head. Exactly.
Carnivore.
That Pokemon. Okay, no. He just said it. Marini or whatever it's called. So here's the thing, right? So I was browsing DeviantArts, and I found a design from 2015 by an artist on DeviantArts that was essentially that Pokemon.
Do you have the link for it?
From 2015. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. Because I usually have like a million like tabs open. But I had it there and I specifically saved it because I wanted to make sure to remember it. Because I was looking at it, I was like, dude, wait a minute. I was looking at like, I wanted to see like when it was posted. So I looked at like, I couldn't see because I don't know where on DeviantArt where you see like when it was posted. So I was looking at the comments and the oldest comment was from like early 2015, dude. Early 2015, insane. And I was like, wait a fucking minute, what? Like, did Game Freak steal the design from DeviantArt? Like, I don't know, dude. I mean, that shit, like, that was a bit sketchy to me when I saw it. If I can find it, I will definitely send it your way, guys, because that shit was sketchy as fuck to me when I found it.
Was it the same colors too?
Similar, but like, okay, so imagine how Marini looks like, but like, just kind of slightly changed. Like, it was just kind of different colors, but like the design itself was fucking identical.
Well, if they're stealing ideas from Pokemon, I want that platypus in the game.
Oh yeah, true. That's put into Temtem though, which is cool.
Oh yeah, true.
I'd like.
Oh god, I don't have it saved. Where the fuck, dude? I wish I had it saved because
2015. Wow.
God damn. Yeah, no, dude. I was so confused when I found it. Like, I was so, because the thing is, I thought like, okay, this is somebody's like maybe Fakemon version, or like their interpretation, or like a Alola version or regional variant of like Marini. And I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, it doesn't say Alola at the start. It's a unique name. And I was like, let me look at the comments real quick to see when this was posted, because I was just like a bit curious. And I look at the oldest comment posted on it was from 2015 and like early 2015, like February or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just wish I knew who, because it was somebody that I've looked at their art in the past, but god damn it, dude, I've got to find it. If I find it, I will send your way because that shit was so weird to me.
Chat, and then...
I will, for sure.
Someone
by the way,
are you guys looking forward to Gen 8 or Gen 4? Yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah, definitely both, but I think more for me personally, Gen 8.
Yeah.
Same here.
Just explore something new. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they're gonna put any wild mechanics in this game, like Mega Evolution or Z moves?
For sure. I think they will. They always do gimmicks. They always do gimmicks, and I want them to do gimmicks. I love gimmicks in Pokemon.
Really good surprises.
Hopefully nothing to do with like Synergy Burst.
Don't give me Z moves or some shit.
I need to become one with my Pokemon.
I would love
Fuse with me.
I would love if they had like Mega Evolutions and then a Battle Frontier combined. That would be such a good combo. And the Frontier Brains could have like a Mega Evolution.
The one thing I didn't like about Megas was that in X and Y there was like 2 trainers that actually used them. That's what I didn't like. It was like, it didn't feel like it was challenging because you could just Mega Evolve whenever and destroy all the gyms.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting to find out for confirmation if Z moves and Mega Evolution is going to be in Let's Go as well.
Never confirmed or
in
denied.
Let's Go. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll see. Mega Evolution is definitely possible because on Origins anime.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that hard because it's just the Kanto Pokemon that they'd have to program.
Yeah,
exactly.
And maybe that would warrant co-op. I don't know. If like Giovanni or something like didn't he do something? Yeah, he did Mega Mewtwo and
Ultra Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rexfire MV says, "What if Generation 8 was a prequel to every single Pokemon game ever, and the main is Arceus or Arceus?"
Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
that's a reboot of the franchise.
Could you imagine like actually going to heaven in like the Sinnoh remakes, like they reimagined the Arceus event, Arceus, yeah, and you actually go to heaven? Holy crap!
Like you're just that spear pillar, and like you just see all these like weird swirly effects because it's in HD on the console, and it, like these stairs open all the way up.
You find out the hidden origin of
actually the camera pans and you see like this stunning like this blue sky and clouds. Moving around.
Well, you have the R joystick so you can move the camera.
Walking up.
When
and,
they
like the sun, there's like a lens flare from like the sun shining in your face.
When they've got like the unknown cutscene on the Switch. Imagine if that happened as well. That would be a pretty good scene to watch.
I don't remember that.
Wasn't that in Heart Gold though?
Yeah, in Heart Gold.
Oh,
if they could like show something to do with it.
It was like in the Tojo ruins or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, remember that? Wait, was that the creepy scene? Oh, do you guys remember that creepy scene that they had?
But when they showed like all the buildings
with Cynthia, was it? And they it was really, it's like known for being like one of the most disturbing things in Pokemon. Do you guys remember that?
What game?
I forgot what it's called. I think it was Heart Gold Soul Silver, like some kind of post game thing. I think I'll look it up and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Wait, who was involved?
Was it the
event?
Was it
Giovanni?
Cynthia. I think Cynthia and someone else.
If it's just the only thing that you can do in Heart Gold with Cynthia is the event, right? Like where you get the level 1 Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina.
They have like this random scene that's just really.
I feel like that's what you're thinking.
Is it where they're showing like loads of buildings and stuff?
And then there's a whole bunch of unknowns that spin around and stuff.
I'm gonna look it up right now to see if
maybe someone in the chat knows.
Oh yeah, the Arceus event cutscene, the Sinjo ruins.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it was. Okay, I don't remember Joe. I don't know why. I played to beat it, but it's like I forgot all of it. Oh, this is a good question. Someone said, imagine an open world Pokemon, or not a question, but just a statement. Pokemon game with gyms working like shrines in Breath of the Wild. Not like 120 gyms, but like a lot of different ones where they have different themes and like elemental types.
Well, there's only 18 types. Cool. So there'd only be
18. Like he said not 120, but like mini gyms, if you will, on top of the regular ones. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Kind of like the battle dojo that they had in Kanto.
Yeah.
Like small little battle dojos or something like that.
Yeah.
Fist to me bum bum. Oh shit, I was gonna ask something real quick because hey, them dudes leaking shit were right about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which means we're gonna see a lot of freaking leaks for Gen 8 next year, which makes me excited.
I'm starting to think that one leak might be true, where it was saying it was gonna be like kind of a reboot, and it was gonna have lots of new Pokemon, like 100+ new Pokemon. It was gonna be in Spain or something. Like, remember that?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that might be it. That sounds pretty likely to me.
The Spain was the Spain actually a leak though? I thought that was just.
Well, they said it was like Spain or Italy or something, but it was like one of those.
Oh yeah,
tiny
yeah.
letters. Yeah, that was
it was like
the first leak.
Yeah, that was the Japanese leak. I think it was from Poke Arena or Jinx Club.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, the Spain and Italy thing is probably.
I'm curious about the Japanese Riddler because I remember I was talking to Poke Arena specifically, and I got some info which like wasn't shared by her at the time, but rather like she just gave it to me because she was like, yeah, I don't want to like talk about these leaks and stuff. So like, here you go, you can just take a look at this, and it was basically this image of like a shiny Charizard and like a palm tree and some other stuff. It was some weird random stuff, but like basically it was pointing at some sort of reboot of the franchise, some new version of like shiny Pokemon or some new gimmick, right, of Pokemon, and just some weird stuff. But like, it was a weird combination of like little things. But I don't know, dude. I mean,
post it on here.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm not just saying like. I mean, it wasn't like an image showing anything concrete. It was just like, I mean, I can definitely find them for you if you want me to.
It'd be fun to show people. I don't know.
But I would just say like, keep track of like Pixel Power a lot because that dude knows some stuff. That dude knows a lot of stuff. That man knew about Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee for like such a long time. So keep track of him.
I hope he has sources for the 2019 game.
Oh, he definitely will. No,
imagine if like he's already made tweets explaining what it's gonna be, and we don't.
Yeah,
even
it's just like next year. He's like, here are all the tweets. If you looked at the 30th letter in all of them, it spells out the names of the Gen 8 games.
Yeah.
I would say keep track of him because he's probably gonna get more active as Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee come out. That's when, like, once those games are out, that's when he's probably gonna, get on the track of like,
his time's definitely gonna be like right after Let's Go comes out till the Gen 8 announcement. That like 3 or 4 month gap.
Oh, for sure. Dude, I'm excited, though, for the next games. Like, I don't know why, but, like, I keep feeling like Let's Go Beach, Let's Go Eevee is just going to be, like, this temporary thing for, like, a week or two.
That's fine. I mean, that's how I feel, too.
Because we have Smash to move on from after that. So,
like I already said, I'm getting Let's Go.
Get Smash, the main meal, and just...
I literally say all the time, I'm getting Let's Go just so the wait for Smash Bros. Is less painful. So that I have 2 weeks to play that game, I beat it, and by the time I'm done, Smash Bros. Will be out.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even if they end up being completely underwhelming, who cares? Smash Bros. Is after, so like, and then we can look forward to Gen 8.
Someone else said the leak about the game being in a post-apocalyptic Kanto or something. Do you guys think it would be true for Generation 8?
They won't do Kanto. They won't do Kanto after Let's Go, or they will actually get destroyed.
I think specifically that won't happen because the guy who quote-unquote leaked it, what's his name again? Piyuk. That man lost a lot of credibility after he put that as his. I mean, unless the person who posted that was a faker, which I don't think it was, because it was connected to the same fucking 4chan account or whatever, or the same like
it was the same
code or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that's unlikely.
I think he lost a lot of credibility.
I would, he has no credibility because he didn't have anything prior to that either.
People keep saying that he was just hinting at the Gen 8 games, but like he said, like hopefully the announcement isn't too far away, so that pretty much blows it.
Yeah, but but the thing though is at the same time though they're probably having people translate and work on those games as well in between times.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I think it would be too early for them to be having people translate them right now. I think like maybe
not translating, but just
maybe
still
like
working on it.
November, September is when they're gonna hire people to translate the Gen 8 games. Is when they're gonna start hiring, or like rather put out the whatchamacallit, people like put out the requests. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's like really what we should just. I don't know. We just wait and see, I guess, because we shouldn't be expecting anything now. Like we won't see anything about this games until that that sort of time. But
do you guys have any personal hopes for what the region would be based off of?
Not for what it would be based off of.
I mean,
like a region based off like
Sweden would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love Scandinavia. That would be really pretty. Like I would like a more.
I want a colder place. Yeah, like a colder.
Yeah, I think people are tired of the whole like
so many tropical vacations. We got Hoenn, and then we got Alola. So I want something a little different from usual.
I still think
a little bit rougher, fam.
Cool.
More rough.
What did you say, Poker?
I said that I still think Australia would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Australia. Oh yeah, I would love that too.
But I feel like doesn't Australia kind of have a limited amount of like? I mean, no. Does Australia have like? I know people have said like they have snow on mountains, but like to me it's like like I don't know. I never want to like advocate for Sweden to be a region because I'm not the biggest fan of like the environment here because it's mostly rain. But like, hey, we have good weather here, like summer and shit. And then we have snow in the mountains and shit. Like, it's a generally like a really naturally beautiful country, if I'm going to be honest. But so I think that'd be cool. But I feel like with Australia, you kind of like a lot of the geography of that country or that area of the world is very much just warm. You know what I mean? Just like
I still like Australia though. I would love that as a region.
Yeah, cool. For sure. A lot of cultural shit would be really cool. Oh yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like maybe a new kangaroo Pokemon. So it would be really neat. Yeah.
I think something like
so it's at 50% of Australia's Pokemon will be poison type.
Goddamn.
Jeez, I could imagine like a huge spider Pokemon or something freaky.
Yeah.
Tarantula. Yeah.
And would have like a oh my gosh. Or
Skinny.
The legendary would be poison.
In the chat, Skinny Snubble asked us a question, and I'm kind of curious as well, but I'm going to add something to it. Skinny asked what our favorite Pokemon are, but I'm going to add not starter and non-starter Pokemon.
Well, for starter,
favorite starter and non-starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite starter is definitely Charizard.
Same
for me, yeah.
as you can tell.
Mudkip for life.
But
non-star.
Do legendaries count for non-starters?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If they do, then it's Raikou.
Probably Mew for me.
For starter, I got to go with Totodile line. Totodile. And non-starter, I think I'm going to go with Sandshrew, Sandslash. I really like.
For me, probably Sableye for the non-starter.
Mega Sableye's busted.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I loved using him in Gen 6 meta game. It was so much fun.
Yes.
And that was before
one of the few good things.
That was like before when the ability or like the stats would change, so you would have Prankster going into Mega Evolution. Oh man.
Yeah.
I love that. You could set up a taunt or a Will-O-Wisp right away and then Mega Evolve. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, Sableye deserved that little boost since he was never like the best stat-wise.
And then he had Magic Bounce, you couldn't stat him. Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, everything got reflected back.
Yeah, that made me happy to see like Sableye shine. Okay. Yeah. See what else is going on. Someone said.
But yeah, for like a region, I kind of really want it to be like, well, not exactly like Sinnoh, but I think Sinnoh had the best balance of everything because like there was a gigantic mountain, so we had the whole cave exploration with like Spear Pillar and Mount Coronet and everything. Then there was a forest because I forget what the name of the forest was, like before you entered the city with the second gym. Yeah, Eterna, there we go.
Forest, yeah.
So you had that, and then you had the snowy area, like when you went to go see what was it?
Yeah, it was just well balanced.
Yeah, Snow Point City, that whole entire path.
Gigas and all that.
Yeah, so you have all that. You have that there, and then there was a whole bunch of water around that you could explore. So there was like surfing and all that too. It had the best balance.
Just a great region. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the best balance of everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Even Univo was pretty cool with the seasons that it had, which was nice.
Yeah,
It
because
was
that
based
actually
around
changed.
New York, which obviously has like is very seasonal. Like it changes a lot during the season. So
And it was cool how there was like certain items that you were only able to get in the winter because the pile of snow was high enough so that you could like climb it.
yeah, there's a lot of different places they could do that would be really cool.
Because I remembered that and I was like, how do I get this item? There's just like no way to climb up. And then it was in winter and it was a whole bunch of like snow that was piled up. And I was like, oh, that's how you get it.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff.
Do you guys
What
think
else?
the battle system change is going to be implemented into Gen 8?
There could be some changes, probably.
Because that was like
I
one of
don't know
those
if it'll
big,
be
that was the
insane, though.
big rumor that came out about like Gen 8, like one of the first, like how it might be real time or something like that.
I'm really
hope
excited
so.
for that possibility.
People are gonna. People are.
Oh yeah,
gonna
people
not.
are gonna rage no matter what.
I mean, they raged about
Yeah.
Let's Go, so
Yeah, it's so weird. Like the littlest of change, and people get so mad. Like the series has to try new things. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I would be happy with the ballot change if they were to implement it, and I would be happy if it was normal. I just want it to be good.
Yes.
Yeah. So
someone asked where all of our, well, we're like all, wait, what was the question? Someone asked where we were all from, like our location. I don't know why. It was just a random question.
Go ahead, tell them so
Alright.
we can find us.
Like our actual
I'm in.
address.
Did you already say yours?
Oh no, I'm saying like our actual like physical address.
No,
'cause
no,
I'm
no.
told
Like
I'm
just like
not-
you can just say like a general
Country.
Yes.
Country.
Yes.
Oh, just country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
or state in the
yeah.
country. I don't know.
Just tell them. Come
No,
on.
he wants your
Come
whole
on.
address and your social security number online.
Exactly. Credit card number as well.
Plus, we don't hear. I'm from Arkansas in the U.S.
Nice.
I'm from the UK, so
I'm from Pennsylvania in the U.S.
And I'm from California.
And I'm from the most randomest place. I'm from Bosnia, but I live in Sweden. So that's a bit of a weird combination.
How far is PewDiePie?
I was gonna
from
say you don't really have a Swedish accent, so like, what? There has to be.
Oh, dude, at PAX East was the funniest thing because people were like, people were like, oh, how long was the trip here, man? I was like, oh, it was like 7 hours. Oh, did you like? They were assuming I lived somewhere like, they either assumed I was somewhere in the U.S. from like, I don't know, I guess the west side of it, or like they assumed I was from
Like
the UK.
California and all that.
Yeah, exactly, and or they assumed I was from the UK because I sometimes
I was
like
thinking
my
like
accent.
that. Yeah, I thought you were from like the UK or something.
Yeah, because my accent flip flops because I don't really have a set accent. Sometimes I can be like, you know, just talking like I'm fucking from the UK, but another second I can sound like a Swedish person. Third second I can sound like a Russian. But like, I don't know, it's just I flip flop a lot, so people are like really confused. And I was like, oh no, I came from Sweden. You live in Sweden? Is that like
I'm the UK boy? Yeah.
And the worst part is like people are like, is that the country where they love chocolate? No. No, we have IKEA
That's
and
every country.
meatballs. Either way, that was that.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Don't see any more questions.
Someone said OMG Arrow our wigs.
That's because Skinny Snowball got really excited because we both live in the same state.
Nice. Yeah, California is like its own country. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would love to live in California.
Dude, it has like everything. Like you can live in like the tropical environment. The mountains are snowy. It's like everything. It's crazy. And there's so much to do.
Yeah. Plus, you're able to go to E3 because it's just like a few hours away from you.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
nice.
the only thing that I got here is a Nintendo store that's like an hour away. Like I could take a train and get to Nintendo in New York.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We just have GameStop.
Yeah, New York is so cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Let's see what else.
Well, my eyes hurt.
Should Gen 8 have 2 separate games or 1 main game? It's gonna have 2.
Why would
Oh,
they
yeah,
not
definitely
do two
two
separate games? Yeah.
They make
Yeah.
more money that way.
Yep. Because
They
there's
can do it.
There's people out there who buy both games.
Yes, autismos like myself.
All right. Let's see. Miss Magius. Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess if we don't have any more questions, we could probably wrap it up. It's pretty good.
Wait.
Time for me to sleep.
Someone said, do you think a new classic edition? I don't know.
Do you think a new classic edition will be released near what is SDCC?
San Diego Comic-Con?
Ah, yeah. It could be. That's always the first place they show the console in person to the public. I didn't know that. I guess they could do that if they have one coming out this year.
I guess so. All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not any more other questions here. And then you weren't able to find that picture, Ruffled Rowlet, right?
Oh no, I fucking couldn't because my I have like a bunch of tabs of DeviantArt, but like there's so many and I couldn't find it within them. I will have to look through my links though because I think I specifically saved a link to it somewhere, but
you can't search
that's
your
gonna
history?
take some time. I mean, dude, it was a long time ago now that I actually like found it because the thing is I have so many, but I'll look through them and see if I can find one because it's such a strange thing. It's so weird. Let me see. Is it anywhere in my early links here? Nope.
Yeah, I looked up like Spain and Italy, and they're very pretty. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff they could still do with those. I would love like the Elite Four to be based around like those churches that they have. Like, obviously not make it a religious thing, but like base it off the architecture that's so beautiful. Like with like this really like.
I remember like with
music, I guess.
I remember with Pokemon Sun and Moon, when they revealed the map, we were all speculating about like how the Elite Four was probably going to be on that artificial island, and it just turned out to be Paradise. We were all like, this is going to be the whole Pokemon League right here on a separate island, and no, it's just the Ether Paradise.
Right?
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah. He's looking for it, so I guess we just have to...
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Stalling away.
I remember everybody was like planning out where the gyms were and all that, and then we found out there aren't even gyms in that game.
I know.
That was crazy.
And then
they turned out to be the third
nothing to add to it and make gyms. Because I feel like they set it up to where you could have had gyms in like a sequel, but didn't do it.
Yeah, they definitely.
I'm not gonna find like this. This is fucking. I have too many links to go through.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, so fucking many.
All right, then I guess we can probably just wrap it up then. All right, yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. So yeah, that will be our second episode of the Nintendo Nite podcast. I had a ton of fun. We discussed so much stuff for 3 hours. Make sure you guys go check out. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out all these people. I'll have their links in the description to their YouTubes. Go check them out. Give them a subscribe. Follow them on Twitter. And yeah, I'll just let all of you guys plug in. We can just go in Discord order.
Okay. So we're doing our plugins?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so I mean, basically for me, you just find me here on this channel right here, and you can follow me on Twitter at @ActualArrow.
Yeah, so I'm Endgame the Cube on YouTube and Endgame the Cube on Twitter, and it's that simple. So,
I'm Ruffled Rowlet. I spent half the time that this whole podcast was talking, so I'm sorry. Next time I'll be 50% quiet. So
that's literally what the chat was saying.
I know. But sorry about talking too much. But either way, I don't know. YouTube, Twitter, you can find me on there, Ruffled Rowlets. So yeah. But yeah, that's about it for me. Peace.
I'm a slow speedrun, PokeTuber, Nintendo Tuber. I don't know. I'm on YouTube and also on Twitter at Slow Speedrun.
And I'm the Pokeraf. Everything to do with Pokemon you can find on my channel in the description below, and you can follow me on Twitter at the Pokeraf as well.
All right, and I guess that'll be it. We'll see you guys in our next episode, which will probably be sometime next month. And yeah, peace.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.